Oh yeah, man. We live like 95, man. We in the mix. I got my guy AKOYE. We're gonna talk real football, man. We're gonna talk from X's to O's, A to Z. You know how it goes down with the new flavor. Uh, hey, like I'm always gonna say this too as well. Those convinced against their will is of the same opinion still, and you
You done
got to
drove
put that
that
out
home.
there. Yeah, I'm gonna drive that really home.
Yeah, no,
Uh,
that's on me now. I'm stuck with it.
Hell yeah, and I saw you put out of there too as well. Out of the nights that cover me black as a pit from pole to pole.
Yeah,
I thank God for my unconquerable soul. Now the thing says I think whatever God, but I know who God is. You know what I'm
hmm
saying? So in the fell clutches of circumstances, I have not winced nor cried out loud. Under the bludgeons of chance, my head is bloody, but I'm bowed beyond this place of wraths and
you
tears.
know
Wounds
about
where the
Invictus,
harvest is
man.
shed, and yet the minister years shall find and find me unafraid. It matters not how straight the gates or how charged the punishment with thou art stroll. I am the master of my faith. I am the
I'm the
captain of
captain
my
of my
soul.
soul.
We
I'm,
gonna get this thing
I
going,
made my
baby.
sons memorize that, and I made them memorize "If"
If
by Rudyard
now,
Kipling. Yep.
yeah, yeah. So we spit nothing but the truth out here, knowledge. You know how it goes. Go ahead and tell them who you are for those who don't understand.
I'm the one and only AKOYE, man. Accumulated knowledge over years of experience. Somebody also questioned me on that. I said, and I thought it was, I said existence on one video, and they said, I thought it was experience. And just to let you guys know some background for those who care, most you don't. But it used to be acquired knowledge over years of existence. That was the original AKOYE when we were in high school. That's the name we came up with. But I just felt like accumulated and experience just rung a little bit better. So if you see me flip flop with that, that's why.
Well, it all fits in the puzzle, man. You're talking about exist, and then you're talking about experience. Look, you can't have the experience without the existence. So you got to exist to have the experience. So everybody should know that part of it is just plain and simple. You know what I mean?
There go heavy hustler. Yo, this dude is my number one troll, man. He follow me everywhere and say clout chaser. I'm like, chasing clout from who? You know what I mean? But I'm looking at him in the comments now. I like
Oh,
I like I like reading these dudes talk crazy.
man, you know they got a job to do. We got a job to do too as well. We look at film. Speaking of film, tell me about this Tyree Robinson.
Oh man, I just released his video. Um Honestly, he excited me at first because all I could find initially were highlights. And when you watch his highlights, you see
Mm-hmm.
his coverage ability just jumps off the screen. And that I do enjoy. Like I think he can excel, he can help us a lot from the cornerback point of view. That's definitely true. Um, they moved him around a lot. Like if you didn't know any better and you were just looking at the past plays, they use him a lot like Derwin James. He has a similar frame. He's probably about 12 pounds off, 10 pounds off of Derwin James.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not saying he's as good as Derwin James, so don't quote me on that. But the way they use him in Oregon and the way he hits in regards to hitting receivers and breaking up passes, he's a Derwin James, but just a little less consistent, should I say? Now, versus the run. At least if you guys want to reference the video the main game that I broke down was against Washington because I was watching Vita Vea, so I figured I can kill two birds with one stone by watching Vita Vea versus Oregon, and then I can get a look at Tyree too, and I did. But if you look at that game, you'll notice what I noticed, which is against the run. I don't think it's ability. I think either he was playing so that he didn't get a Jaylon Smith type situation,
Mm-hmm.
get hurt before the draft, something like that. But he was playing very conservative, very conservative against the run. He was not sticking his head in there. He was and I've seen him make pretty good wrap up
Mm-hmm.
tackles. He didn't bring his legs with him that often throughout the year, but I've seen him make good tackles. But against Washington, for some reason, they were just running through him like hot knife through butter, man. And I didn't like that at all. So I don't know if that's a one game type thing, a stretch type anomaly, or if that's just in his makeup. And it's
Yeah.
obviously somewhere in there because he did it.
Yes, indeed. I do see a guy too as well. Now he does make open field tackles. I saw that. Now, as far as like you said, against the run, a lot of these guys, man. If you look at it across the board, when you're talking about collegiate football, a lot of them do kind of huff on the run a little bit, kind of
Yeah.
suspect a little bit out there. But I did see him get into the face of the opposition, and I also see him get into the face of his own players when they actually
That I
when I took
saw.
on an assignment. So yeah, that I saw, and I saw him get ejected too as well for targeting. So
Yep,
the
that
guy,
was like the first clip I
yeah,
put out there too.
the guy got a little moxie, a little dog in him, and that's what we need out there. Because is he practice squad eligible? Yeah, because a lot of teams pretty much not looking at him like that. So he got to come out and ball if you want to play on this team. I think that Chris Richards is going to get him right.
That's a fact. That's a
Hey,
fact.
Barry Church was undrafted. This from Italian Cowboy. Yeah, salute to you, man. Shout out to everybody that's in the chat box, man. Thank y'all for joining in. The loyal followers, man. Those who hit the notification button. You already know how it is. So talk to me, man. Talk to me about this video you put out there, man, about this Dak Prescott. And I
Oh
seen
man,
a little bit of that clips. I know it's been a lot of back and forth about that. The
yeah,
truth you put out there, the CTE movie.
yeah,
Break
yeah.
break that down for me.
Well, that was just a response to my video yesterday, the one about Jason Garrett. Um, I just want to, really put out there, like, to look at All or Nothing. And those of you, and I think a lot of the comments I get, I think from people who haven't watched it, but those of you who've seen it, it was some of the most disingenuous TV that I've seen in a while. And I watch Hard Knocks, I watch All or Nothing with Arizona Cardinals, so on. So it's not because it's All or Nothing. It's not like creative directing that made them seem that way. I think that's just the way Garrett comes off. He doesn't come off as a genuine guy. And the premise or the point to the initial video was to say that due to the fact that obviously Jason Garrett didn't want to get fired. Who does? But the fact that they blamed not only Dez, but they backhandedly blamed Witten, Beasley, and Williams as well. Because they said that Dak needs a Dak-friendly offense, right? The fact that they said that, now they've shifted all the weight and pressure to Dak for his third year. Now, if this is his third year and he's meant to be our future, why would a coach who's trying to develop a quarterback like Dak, why would you put that much pressure on him going into his third year? They've painted him into a very tight corner going into his third year, and it doesn't make much sense. And they painted themselves into that corner because they've gotten rid of every other possible, plausible excuse they possibly could have. They can't blame the defense because Rob Marinelli and that side of the ball, they've been pretty tight. So, that I didn't like that. Now,
Yeah. Now I see exactly what you're saying. Now, using the analogy of painting yourself in a corner, right? It's
right,
kind of like those who don't know who those who don't paint. It's kind of like mopping the floor, right? You got to sweep the floor first, and then you mop the floor, and then you don't want to walk across the wetness, right? I'm on the same point.
right,
So you mopping the floor, you figure out the way. Now you're in the corner.
right,
There's only one other option you can do is to wait. You got to sit there and wait till it dry, and then you get out of there. And
right,
then you got to figure out to turn around and mop the spot that you were sitting in the corner with.
right.
So
Now you got to
Dak
walk back through that
Prescott,
mess.
you got to walk back through the mess. So Dak Prescott, the coaching philosophy, we understand the whole philosophy of the Dallas Cowboys with Jason Garrett. I'm not sold on Jason Garrett. I never was sold on Jason Garrett. Understandably, rightfully so.
Right,
He had many of years, plethora of years, or what have you, but it's not I guess a bad Jason Garrett moment at this time. We understand that coming 2018, Dak Prescott is our quarterback. Coming hell and high water, unless something unforeseeable thing
right.
happen. Because we do know that even if Mike White can throw every pass out there, even if Cooper Rush can just
Let, let me let
needle
me
through the keyhole. Go
let
ahead,
me
talk
say
to me.
this. Let me
Go
say
ahead.
this because I'm glad you brought that up. I'm not saying that my criticism of Dak in the Dak video today is not to say that I want. This isn't the cry for Cooper Rush or Mike
Right,
White.
right, right. Now I
I think
understand
it's
that. Yeah.
yeah. I think it's telling that they drafted Cooper Rush and Mike White. Well, forget Cooper Rush, but Mike White in the 5th round, who was a 2nd and 3rd round draft grade. He had that grade. Now the reason he didn't get taken that early is because most of the teams that needed quarterbacks took their quarterbacks very early in the draft because there were so many that were 1st round grades. So they jumped up and they did what they needed to do. Most teams that need a quarterback are just so happen to be, top 10 picks because they need a quarterback. So
True
those
that. True
quarterbacks
that.
jumped off the board pretty quick. So guys like, your Mike Whites or your Falks, they dropped. even though they had higher grades than where they were picked.
I think another guy too as well, and old boy is all in his feelings. We're gonna jump over to the not Seattle Seahawks, the Steelers. Rudolph, what's his name?
Yeah, Kyle Rudolph.
Kyle Rudolph, old boy, Ben Roethlisberger, all in his feelings. He's like, hold on, you got Dobbs before that, the year before that, and you already had the guy before that, and now you trying to tell me that you're gonna have Rudolph as my replacement?
Right.
Now, if this is what I want out of Dak Prescott, and people fail to realize this is year 3, so the gloves come off. So I'm gonna really look at his tape like from A to Z. You know, I know you've been already. You've been
got
on it.
To, man.
I got to. It's year 3.
If you go light on Dak this year, you're doing him a disservice, man. You can't go light on him.
I won't. I would not allow my soul, my mind, my body, and my spirit to do that. But what I'm saying is that I want Dak Prescott Mason Rudolph. Shout out to Mason Rudolph. Rudolph the red-nosed reindeer. Yeah. Hey, the thing is with that, if Ben Roethlisberger, he already was talking about, he was talking about, hey, I'm retired. You know, I think about throwing it up, you know, because the Jaguars exposed him a little bit, and he was all in his feelings. He was saying that, like, look, this may be my last time at this. I'm finna retire. They went out and drafted Rudolph, and then Ben Roethlisberger said to himself, oh, you guys gonna do that? Oh, no.
Right.
Right. He's not, you know what I'm saying? I might play for another 5 years, you know. Right. So with that, you know, he probably don't have.
But that won't.
What I'm saying is, I want Dak Prescott to have the same type of mentality and say, okay, Mike you guys White. Gonna draft Mike White. You didn't give me no help out there as far as defense. You didn't give me no help out there as far as wide receivers or whatever, you know.
Mason Rudolph is a Dak Prescott in the equation, meaning the young coming to replace the veteran who's been, you know, the staple of the team, like Tony Romo. Mike White is insurance. He's not in the same position as a Dak was when he came in for Romo, because it's a youth trying to replace a youth. True. So you know that's all. And Mike White said he doesn't want to be a backup for the rest of his career either. He's not that. He don't think he's a backup talent. So there's going to be competition at the QB position in training camp, but I don't think that any equation other than injury would mean, you know, that Dak Prescott is not our starting quarterback going into 2018 or even 2019. I think the criticism, or whatever you want to call it, I do criticize him, and I don't do it in a soft manner. But the criticism that I give Dak is more so that he rises to the occasion and steps up and does what he's supposed to do. Because I don't see anybody else doing it. And I'm not from this era, man. I'm not from the era where I'm an 80s baby. So I was born in 83. I'm not from the era where you pat people on the back and give out trophies to everybody, even the losers. You know, we don't do that. You know, you can't coddle anyone to success. You know,
well, let me ask you this, and this is just, and I know you king on stats, and I can't pull out stats, and you know,
I mean, I mess up something, but you know, I got them somewhere in there.
And now everything about Dak Prescott last year was better than what Cam Newton was last year. If one can argue about stats alone, right?
Correct.
Now, Cam Newton is considered a guy that can walk on water over there in North Carolina, or whatever he plays at over there in Charlotte, Carolina, whatever that stadium is at.
Right.
He's appeared to be like, okay, he's the savior of our franchise, right?
Right.
Dak Prescott is appeared to be a hot, flaming trash of a quarterback from our fan base collectively. When I pull up a tape, it's like 50. It's like sliced right down in the half.
That's the same way for Cam Newton, though. If you listen to,
I don't know. Man, I ain't from East Coast. You're on the East Side. What are they saying out there on the East Side?
What's the guy's name from that be on the TV with Jason Whitlock? Colin Cowherd, something like that.
Colin Cowherd. Yeah.
He absolutely hates Cam Newton. He talk about him all the time. Now, Cam Newton also had a year where he had 35 touchdowns passing and 15 rushing. So he put up about 50 touchdowns one year and almost was the MVP of the league if he wasn't. Now, I'm not saying that Dak can't do that. I'm not saying he can't. But I'm saying he won't if you don't push him.
Well, let me ask you this, though. I'm going to move on from Cam then. Cam. Everybody knows Deion Sanders sing that song.
Yeah.
Cam, yeah. What about this cat right here? I'm going to hate to say this because his numbers just wasn't that far beyond his. I'm talking about Matt Ryan, the guy that's floating and walking on money. His stats wasn't that superb collectively, of a Dak Prescott last year. Just only marginal better as far as percentage rates and stuff like that.
See,
so what's the story on Matt Ryan? Why do he gets a pass on things? Why nobody crucify him?
I'm not a Falcons fan. Right. So if I were a Falcons fan, then I would be screaming to the high heavens right now about Matt Ryan getting paid more than Aaron Rodgers, Tom Brady.
True that.
And so on. I don't agree with that just because it happened. It happened. He got it. Kudos to his agent. Kudos to him. I respect you. I'm not hating on your money. But I don't think Matt Ryan had a lights out year either. People jump to those. But see what I'm saying, though?
Right. This is where I get lost in the stats. Now, I do know that for sure, when I look at Matt Stafford and Matt Ryan, oh, my God, Matt Stafford. Even when they were talking about before the year happened last week, I think
there is a difference, though. You do know
they arm. I mean, Matt Stafford, he can really.
There is a difference.
Evan Paul, he can throw every ball out there. I've seen Matt Stafford throw every ball.
There's a difference between Matt Ryan, Matt Stafford, and Dak, and the difference is this. And Cam. So Cam, Dak, and Wilson are in the same ilk. They can throw the ball and hurt you, but they also have another threat, which is their legs. Matt Ryan is not running anywhere.
I think Matt Stafford, man, he can run just a little bit.
Matt Stafford is so injury prone; they don't want him running anywhere.
True that.
He pop his shoulder out when you tap him. So those guys have to perform from the pocket. They're a little bit different than Dak Prescott. They have to. They are their throws. Now they've been in the league a while, so yeah, defenses. You're not sneaking up on anybody with Matt Ryan or Matt Stafford at this point. Defenses pretty much can see enough tape to know what they're going to do, what they're going to bring. It's just about execution for them. Dak, we're still learning what he can do and what he can't do. Now, my criticism comes from what people say when I do what I already do to everybody else.
Right.
Now, you've seen me do a tape on Anthony Brown, right?
True that.
Was it good?
He fell off the wagon, man. Anthony Brown, he fell off the wagon. And true that. And true that.
You can say that, right?
right. I can say that.
But you saying that as a fan because that's okay.
Yeah.
If I say that about Dak, I'm now a Romosexual, clout chaser, Dak hater, a Dez apologist. One of the four, I'll become that as soon as you say it about Dak. Now, hold on. When you say something about Dez, and you criticize Dez, we watched the nation, not just the Cowboy nation, which I'm a part of. We watched the entire nation eviscerate this guy and his character. Nobody says anything other than me, maybe a few others, and then some people are on the fence. Like you was on the fence. Like you'll say certain good things, some bad things. You like in the middle, right?
Look, with Dak Prescott, I'm right in the middle. But for my mind, being from Mississippi, I might have clouded judgment, of course, because I saw what he did with that program with Mississippi State. Look, I'm from Mississippi, man. Mississippi State, who?
We all got our favorite players.
Yeah.
My favorite player on the team right now is Jaylon Smith, right? Because of what he went through.
Yeah, I love Jaylon. Yeah.
Now, I'm going to tell you real quick, I named one of my sons Amari because of Amari Stoudemire. What happened to his knee when he's playing basketball? You know what I mean? I was going to name him Willis after Willis McGahee, but I named him Amari because I wasn't supposed to have no more kids at that time. And I said, you know what? You ain't supposed to be here. Just like, Amari ain't supposed to be in the league right now doing what he's doing. So that's what I named him that for. And I like players that basically are like comeback players. So that's why I like Jaylon Smith so much. But I even gave him – that's my favorite player on the team. I gave him the illest – first part, the part one of his breakdown is not nice, even though I know what he's dealing with. It wasn't, I didn't keep the gloves on or nothing. I gave it to him. And then in part two, he actually impressed me in the second half of the season. And I was honest about it.
Yeah, he did showed up better during the second half, but I still have my reservation on one little thing, especially playing, and you understand the cover two defense with the middle linebacker. You got to be able to backpedal. And look at the tape. He don't backpedal. He turned to the side and he turned his back on. He turned his back against the offense. So
he's not a middle linebacker though. I think he's better at the Sam because he's better coming forward than he is going backwards. You're 100% right.
And truth be told, not to cut you off, that's my hardest pill to swallow with Jaylon Smith for the aspect of I know for sure physically mentally. He looks like a middle linebacker, a Mike. I can just see him playing that role.
Right.
But that's why I was so pissed off about the fact that when we went and got LVE, I was sitting like, oh man, now you're
Right.
gonna have that type of situation on the team where they're gonna kick LVE in the middle because I have this rated right here as a Mike linebacker. That's the 4th hardest position in the National Football League to know, and I don't want to go through all those growing pains again of us putting LVE in the middle and then moving Jaylon Smith on the Sam's. That was my only reservation. And I love LVE's tape. And shout out to your breakdown on that too as well. So
appreciate it. I don't think we need to ever put Jaylon. It's good that he knows it. I don't think we ever have to put him at the mic again, because if barring injury for LVE, I think and you guys might not like it, but I think Joe Thomas can handle the mic and cover 2. I think he can handle it. That's what he played. That's what he played for. We forget about him because of LVE, and he kind of came in and made so much noise. But Joe Thomas he's a better cover guy. He's like LVE, just smaller. He's better at coverage than he is against the run, but he's better at the run than LVE is. So I would give him a solid C, but that's his ceiling though. He's not going to get much better, I don't think.
Let's throw a curveball at it. I mean, we would talk about the quarterback. We jump back to the quarterback. I see everybody want to talk about the quarterback, but we'll talk about that a little later down the line.
Cool.
Let's throw this curveball at it, because we don't make the decisions out there. We're going to give our opinions, our thoughts out there, right?
Right.
What about this? You say hell with it. Just 2 tears in the bucket, pluck it. I'm going to put Sean Lee back at Mike, and I'm going to put my 2 young guys on the edge.
I hate it.
Hey, but who led the league in linebackers interceptions when he played at that Mike position? But he was flying everywhere on the field, man. The brother was just lights out.
The problem is this: at the will, you got to think about the way defense works. So at the Sam, you're on the strong side of the defense. So you're dealing with the tight end, you're dealing with chips, you're dealing with the strong side of the offense. I'm sorry. So you're on that strong side. At the Mike, you're dealing with the guards. So you're dealing with both guards versus the run. Both guards are looking for you. Once they identify you as the Mike, that's who they're looking for, right? Or whoever, or they might be trapping you, whatever, right? Sean Lee is not a banger. He's a guy that you want freed up. And that's why him at the will is best, because you have the Sam and the Mike engaging, and you leaving Sean to use his athleticism and clean up plays. So Sean makes a lot of tackles because he's the cleanup guy. He's coming after, Jaylon is the initial boom at the Sam, or will be. And then you have LV in the middle, who everybody's keying to. Most running plays are keying on the Mike. That's why it's important to identify who the Mike is, because if you don't know who he is, the offensive line doesn't really know who to block.
There you go.
Okay, so they block inside out. They block from Mike out, right? So that's why they identify it. That's why you hear people calling out the Mike, 43 is the Mike, whatever. You'll hear that on the line. That's why, right? Whether they're passing or running. So Sean Lee, we don't want Sean Lee keyed in on. We like Sean Lee being able to use his not only is he experienced, but he's playing on the most athletic position on the line in the linebacker core in any linebacker rotation, whether it's cover 2, 4, 3, doesn't matter. You want to the will is your most athletic linebacker, and you want him free flowing. So after those plays are supposed to be cleaned up, Sean Lee's coming on the back end, playing backside protection, and he can definitely do that. I don't want guards and tackles, keying in on Sean. They can't key in on him when he's at the will, really. They can't, unless they want to change their whole block.
So the first week of the season, we played this guy that's similar, Luke Kuechly.
Right.
I know you probably saw his tape in passing. I don't know.
Yeah, no, I actually, when I was doing Jaylon's tape, I watched a lot of Luke Kuechly just to get an understanding for what Jaylon should be doing.
So either Luke Kuechly is going to be playing. What is he going to play? He's going to play in the mic, or he's going to play in the wheel? How are they going to play him? Because he had the same type of situation with Sean Lee.
Well,
this is a whole nother team. Not to just throw that out there at you, man, but shit.
I don't know. I mean, I don't know. It really depends, because playing against the Panthers, you got so many different things that they do well. You really can't key in and say, this is how we're going to attack Kuechly, because Thomas Davies is still playing, and then Shaq, I think it was Shaq Thomas.
Yeah, Shaq.
All three of their linebackers, are what we would like our linebacking core to be. And hold on, let me pause for a second because I'm getting a lot of heat by not having my Cowboys gear on. Let me go put my Cowboys gear on so these dudes
go ahead and do
can
your
get
thing,
an understanding
man.
that I ain't playing around here.
Yeah,
I just,
I see
it's
you
hot. It's hot.
got the soldier headphones on, man. So we bringing war around here. You know how it goes. Shout out to those in the chat box, man. Shout out to let's see who we have. Jeff Pertee. I think that's how you say your name. Thank you for the donation to help grow the nation. You know how that. I appreciate you, man. Salute, man. I thank you for that. Every dollar counts. Every penny is used for this for the betterment, man. Hopefully down the line I can get some posters behind me. I know a lot of people been talking about, hey man, you got the naked wall and all, you know. I went and got some stuff, man. Now I'm just gonna get some custom frames and put the stuff inside the stuff so I can put behind me. Shout out to somebody else made the donation to help grow the nation. Jada, shout out to you, bro. Shout out, thank you so much for making the donation, man. It make me want to dance. If I had the OBS running right, I have some backup music and all that stuff, and you guys can see my little moves or what have you. But I got my brother from another mother back in. Shout out to you, man. AKOYE.
Yeah.
They back in the mix, man. So you back in the mix. Shout out to you, man. So
I'm back here.
Hey, for those out here saying that he clout chasing, man, I don't think that AKOYE is clout chasing. I need to go look up the word clout. What does that mean?
Let me address that directly, man.
Yeah.
And because that's 100. I'm glad they on here saying that.
Mm-hmm.
Clout chasing means that you attack someone who has more clout than you, or you speak to someone with more clout than you so that they pay attention to you. Sort of like 50 Cent. 50 Cent and Jay-Z. 50 Cent says something like, I'm about said something about Jay-Z, and Jay-Z said, like, I'm about $1. What the F is 50 Cent, right? And then from there, 50 Cent became a name because someone with more clout mentioned him, right?
Mm-hmm.
That would be me coming at you, me coming at Mark for attention. Now, you know, and I know, I don't speak about anybody until spoken about. So if I was chasing someone, that would be me. I would be doing the first motion. I would be attacking first. I only respond. I don't say anything about anybody. That's one. And then two, you know, I haven't been doing this long, and I'm growing. So, and I'm not growing because I'm attacking. I'm growing because I do breakdowns. So for anyone who really gives that any merit, and I think that comes from the fact that I actually criticized that. But anybody who gives that merit is just crazy. And I don't feel, you know, I won't really give that any more attention. But it's just funny that people say that. And I'm like, I'd never make a video about anyone. People kind of see my reaction to a video and think that that's the first video. Like no one said anything initially that made me say that, and that's never the case.
I'm gonna swing it over here, man. Shout out to Jay too as well, man, for making another donation to help grow the nation, man. Man, I'm quit my day job now, man. With these monies coming in, brother, I'm telling you, brother, I'm just playing with you. Hey, heavy hustler, man. He said, look, man, he made a donation to say that you're a clout chaser, man. Sports Guru 95, he made a donation. Brandon, my guy from another mother, he said law line is in full effect, man. Man, shout out to you too as well. And somebody made a donation too as well to help grow the nation. Marcus Waters. He said, talk about the D-line. We're going to talk about the D-line too as well.
Perfect.
But I want to give you time to retort because then also my lady Jackie, everybody wanted to just tell you guys right now, I'm going to tell you guys, say hello to Miss Jackie out there.
How you doing, Miss Jackie?
Hey, Miss Jackie. So, hey, we're going to talk about this D-line, but I want you to go ahead and retort. about my guy. He made a donation to say that you're a clout.
Hey, well, give me the scenario that proves that. Like that's what I want to see. Like at the end of the day, people are not watching me because I attacked you. They're not watching me because I attacked Mark Holmes or any of that. Like, and you know that when I say anything to you, it's all in friendly rivalry. You know that. Now, with Mark Holmes last week, the reason I took the video down, and the reason we had that show. It wasn't so that we could have a show. It was like the reason we had the show was because I went too far with the video. I guess, you know, like I said, I got more personal than he would have liked, and that wasn't my intention. And the reason I took it down was because that's not the energy that I was getting from it. I was spending too much time arguing with people about that.
What's up, hold on. I got my guy Big Game James in the house, man. You guys haven't heard of Big Game James. We're going to go back to this topic.
What up, Big Game?
If you haven't heard of Big Game James, tell them where they can find you at, bruh.
Man, I just jumped in, man. Hey, just check me out on Facebook right now. I'm getting the YouTube up because I feel like the YouTube is just straight popping and I need to get on that area. So I will be on YouTube soon, but right now you can check me out on Facebook. All you big guys on YouTube, I'm just a small guy. I'll be up there soon. But anyway, check me out on Facebook, Big Game James page, Silver and Blue Nation. Holler at us. You know how we do every Sunday, 3:30 to 5. Producer G been on vacation a while. We'll be riding it back up this Sunday, going hard, talking Cowboys football. You know how we do, rough, rugged, raw, uncut. You don't like what you hear, get the hell on out.
And shout out to your page, man. I think it was like 30,000, I believe.
30K. It'll be 30. We got 35,000 followers and almost at 30K, like 20 something more likes when we had 30K.
Man, and I shortchanged you, man. 35,000. God, dog, boy, that's good, man. That's what I'm talking about.
You the 20K in the YouTuber. I mean, you the big dog. I mean, we just trying to embrace on the love. I'm just trying to get a little taste of it.
Hey, I was supposed to bark like this, but as far as that Facebook page, I'm barking like. I got to lift the whole
but you definitely.
Hey man, shout out to Do man for making the donation for the Help Grow the Nation, man. He donated $12 big dollars out there, and I like the number 12.
See, you get money. See, Facebook ain't doing that for me, bruh.
Man. Get
my money right.
Hey, we gonna squeeze back over, man. My lady, Miss Jackie, man, want to talk about the fact that we supposed to go back to D-line, but I want you to squeeze out the last little ounce of little juice. Shout out to the Hennessy, last little ounce of little juice. We want to squeeze out a little bit more talk.
I got the Heine.
What you got? What you got?
I got the Heine. I did. Yeah. No, I ain't get the liquor. You know, you smooth on that. I just had to grab the beer. I came straight off work. I ain't have time to go all that. I don't keep it stashed like you do. You feel me?
This message is brought to you by
that's old school.
Yes.
That's old school. You got that old school. You feel me? Yes, hey, Darius, what's up, big dog? I ain't talked to you in a while.
What up, Jay? How you been?
We finna pull it out.
Hey, I'm just grinding, just like I said. I like
that's why you ain't talking in a while, man. We both doing what we supposed to do, not hating, just chilling. You know what I mean?
Yes,
what we supposed to do
all day.
Gary Oldham, and thank you for the donation, man.
You getting money today,
man? What is going on?
Did I bring this? I brought that good stuff.
You brought the good stuff, man.
I brought the good stuff. I'm bringing you good karma, good love.
If they don't mind, I'm gonna donate you a bottle of hen dog next time I see you. You know what I mean?
Hey, I'll be ready for it.
Hey, you already know you going to the Carolina game, right? First game of the year.
I'll be there. Yeah.
So man, I want you to live that thing up, man. I want everybody who's out there on the east side, man,
I'm going
reach out and touch it, man. AT&T style,
I'm going nuts.
Yes, indeed. But guess what?
So
I want us to lose that game.
Oh man, you crazy?
What? You tripping?
Hey, think about this. Just
I'm not thinking about that.
Hear me out. We lost 49ers for 2014. Then what we did, we got on the Hear the optics.
Well,
we lost against the Giants, and then look what happened: 13-3.
I feel you, man. We need to beat Carolina just because it's in Carolina. I think that's just a statement kind of game. First week. We ain't got them Giants. It's a statement game. Cam Newton, you know what I'm saying? It's just they got some good little players over there at Carolina. We need to go in there and basically because all eyes are going to be on this offense. All eyes are going to be on this defense. It's a whole new change, but really all eyes are going to be on that offense, what the offense is looking like. And a lot of eyes are going to be on that Dak Prescott all day.
Oh, 100, man. I think we're going to look more like we have to look more like, should I say, Denver Broncos. Mike Shanahan.
That's not a bad thing.
Yeah, Mike Shanahan era is Denver Broncos, though. TD, the one that won two Super Bowls with that same offense. So that's more suited for Dak because one thing I'll say about him, and I say this in my videos, but people only hear the negative, just like they only watch the negative video that I make about Dak, right? They only hear what I say that's bad. They don't hear anything else. But the thing that I always say is he's one of the best quarterbacks in the leagues outside the pocket. Period.
Right.
So if you're gonna
hold on against the blitz too. Don't shortchange my brother Dak.
Well, yeah, we had to post that they hated.
Of course, against the blitz because if you have a quarterback who's got a body like Donovan McNabb and actually a build like him. Period. You're not gonna sack that dude easy. You don't take that guy down easily. He got tree trunks for legs. So of course Of course, he's good against the blitz. Him and
let me ask you this. Let me ask you this, and I'm just gonna point out these two things because that arm situation is not gonna change. He's just so big, stocky, build up top, right? He's trying to lose weight. The brother is trying, but if he can just improve on these two things right here, how would you view him this season coming forward?
Right,
footwork and pre-snap reads. If he can just, because
I mean,
work on those two things.
Those are the only two things that he has a problem with. So if his footwork, so of course, if his footwork got better, I don't think, and I'm honestly wrong when I said earlier videos anyway. I haven't said this recently that he doesn't have throwing power. He does. His footwork screws him up, and I had to go all the way back to John Gruden and him sitting down, I think, before the draft. And John Gruden pointed that out, that it was his footwork that was the issue. When I watched that, and I said, oh, that gave me some clarity. Like, oh, Dak's making long throws in that video when John Gruden was talking to him. He just wasn't – like he would make a 5-step drop instead of a 7 and would throw the timing off of the routes of him and his receivers. And that was back in college, and he's still doing it now. So footwork will fix most of the problem. Pre-snap reads – is the other half, and that's if you see All or Nothing, you'll see Sean Lee sitting in the film room at the end of the season watching himself play so he can get better moving forward. Dak needs to do a lot of that. He needs to do a lot of what I'm doing. Sit down and be honest with yourself. Not party, not vacation, and I know you got to do the camps and shout out to all the youth leagues, Pop Warner leagues, and all that. But at the end of the day, he has to self-assess and really come out there understanding what defenses are going to try to do to him. Because now it goes both ways. When a quarterback has, a year or more on tape, or any player has a year or more on tape, his tendencies. But now that defenses have played him a certain way, he can also see defensive tendencies, especially those within the division, and see what defenses have done to take away to counter what he was bringing to the table initially. So if he's able to build on that, then he'll have something else to go to moving forward into 2018. So I'm not saying, and I never said that I hate Dak or Dak can't play, but I'm not going to kiss Dak's ass because he's our quarterback. I want Dak to play to the level that I know he can play to. And when you see someone backsliding like he did in 2017, and I want to dispel some myths since y'all call me the myth buster.
The myth buster, that's coined by the people's champ. That's Vaj Lombardi. When he coins you a name, he kind of sticks with it.
I mean, I'll wear the crown then, man. It is what it is.
Yeah.
But think about this, man. He had 28 sacks. He got sacked 28 times, rather, in 2016. Right. He got sacked 32 times in 2017. All right? And 12. The line actually played better minus 2 games because without Tyree Smith. 12 of those games, and we spit on the line, we shit on them and say, oh, the line was playing horrible. They weren't. 12 of those sacks came against 2 teams. The Eagles sacked them 4 times, which was bad. It was back-to-back games. Eagles sacked them 4 times, and Atlanta sacked them 8. Other than that, minus that 12, and let's just say in those games he had an average sack count, and you cut that down by 5. You know what I mean? We're below our sack count for last year. See what I'm saying? But those 2 games without Tyron Smith, and because Jason Garrett and coaching staff didn't chip block for Chaz Green, that's why he had 12 sacks in those 2 games. And everyone's excuse is Dak wasn't the same after the Atlanta game. Now, I don't agree. I think that
even Jerry Jones was like, man, that Atlanta game sucked the life
the reason
out
I don't agree is I think to say that a guy, because what you're saying when they say that, they think that's a defense. That's horrible to say. Why is it horrible? You're telling me, and this is what you're saying when you say it. So you can keep saying it if you want, but then you will be proving the point that you think I'm trying to make, which is you guys think Dak is trash if you say that. And the reason I say that, if I told you that a player can't play anymore after 1 bad game, he had 8 other bad games because he had 1 bad game, what would you say about that player?
Man, it's
one
optics,
game
though. It's
destroys
subjective.
your whole mental for 8 other games.
It's so subjective, though, man. Just think about this. Let me ask you this.
Let's be honest.
Big game. Go ahead. Talk to him. Talk to him. Hit me up. Go ahead.
He had what quarterback hasn't got beat up in a game, 5, 6 sacks in a game, and ain't bounced back. We can't use the Atlanta game as an excuse of why he wasn't doing as great. I don't think he was missing throws. We all saw it.
Yeah, that's what the whole nation says. To me,
we all say it. We all saw it. I mean, if you know anything about football and you say he wasn't missing throws, you're silly. But I don't think the regression was as bad as everybody says it was, or it may seem. I know he did regress a little bit, but I felt like as a whole the team did, because honestly, that controversy that was holding over head, and I'm not trying to make no excuse, but that controversy and all that stuff going back and forth, I feel like did weigh on the team. And I feel like it did mess up the performance of the team. And also, I just wonder, did we have a lot of leaders in there? Even though we see the all for nothing, I seen the leaders in there. Okay, but it just seems like when we needed the leadership to go ahead in games, it was lacking. That's a problem to me. Because you have a Seattle game, you have a Rams game, you have a Packers game, you have games where you should be Chargers game, you have games you should have won, and it wasn't because they were more talented, because even when we didn't have the same, maybe the player Ezekiel Elliott, we were still in each one of those games and we're winning.
Okay. Like,
yeah, I would agree. You was talking about those two games, right? A tale of two games.
Right.
If we win those two games, what our record is? Like 11-5.
11-5.
Correct.
That's not even bad.
Good. That's good.
That's not bad at all.
It's 11-5, and I think coaching probably shared the biggest part of that burden.
And that's what the clap on, clap off video was talking about, man.
Right.
You can't rally.
I like that video, by the way.
Appreciate it, but you can't rally players or any team by just clapping, and I really mean that. Like and I'm not saying people are like, oh, you don't know what he's saying. I don't know what Jason Garrett is saying, but I thought that's what All or Nothing was supposed to show us.
I know what 8 years is saying.
Period. I know that when Dez came off the field and he fumbled, he encouraged him. This is a playoff game, the Seattle game. He encouraged him. I don't want to see that. That's not what I want to see in my coach. I want to see a guy that puts the fear of you might not be on the team next year if you do shit like that. I want a guy to just say shit like Parcells. Like you guys who really know Cowboys history. It was a dude named his last name was Ross. He was a corner.
Derrick Ross, Ohio State.
Yeah,
Parcells cut that dude, and he was like, he wasn't a super high draft pick, but he cut main man after a game in the middle of the season. He just
like 8 picks his rookie year, I think, or second year.
Yeah, he had five interceptions. He was good. He was not a guy that any other team would ever cut. Parcells cut his ass. Not so much so. I don't know what was the conversation behind closed doors, of course, but he did things like that to prove a point to the entire team. Jimmy Johnson would leave his fucking quarterback, his receiver, at the airport. You was late, he left you. He wasn't waiting for you. He wasn't coddling anybody. And that was to show the rest of the team that if I'll do that to him, imagine what I'll do to you. See what I'm saying? Jason Garrett just didn't show me any of that in the All or Nothing video. I didn't see any of that, and I watched 8 episodes the entire season. So,
do you think? I mean, let's be honest. Do you think the players really fear him?
No,
they don't.
No.
I mean, no matter. I think that All or Nothing. I'm maybe this is what do you call the conspiracy theory?
Right.
I'm gonna bring a conspiracy theory. Maybe I just feel like that conspiracy theory is to throw that out there for Jason Garrett to everybody look at him in a different light. They wanted to see Jason Garrett cussing and going off so everybody could say, ooh.
I'll be right back. I'll be right back, guys. I'm gonna take my contact out. I'll be right back. But
Jason Garrett does yell. Jason Garrett does go off. So I feel like they maybe it's a conspiracy theory, but it just felt like we're trying to put him in the light of he is a hard nosed guy. He is the tough guy.
That's exactly what they were doing, man.
You feel me though?
I said that at the end of the video, man. Who curses? It was just displaced cursing.
You know what I mean?
We all curse.
Come on.
But it was just like he was just going at it just to go at it. And I ain't really like that. Right. And to answer, I didn't get the guy's name who just now who donated, but he just asked what scenario do we see that would lead to Jason Garrett getting fired and Chris Richard taking over.
That's what's going to be.
I mean, I don't know what scenario would lead to that, and I don't want to speculate. But I will say that it would be karma. That's what Jason Garrett did to Wade Phillips. So, I mean, why not? I mean, I don't know if Chris Richard is head coach material yet. We'll see now that he's, up close and personal. We'll see what he's able to do.
I think he is.
We'll see.
He's been under Pete Carroll, and he's been under him for a long time. And, he promoted him. I don't think he may be ready for now, but I think he's been prepped long enough. I feel like, dude, you got to give these guys opportunities. You can't sit there and say, you feel me, dog? You can't sit there and say, we don't know. And the way I feel like the Cowboys brought him in, just my personal opinion, I feel like the way they brought him in was you could be the next guy. Because they like to promote.
What it was, though.
I do, because they promote
Rob
from within.
Marinelli. He might be replacing Rob Marinelli more.
Yeah,
so
okay, but he can replace Garrett. Rob Marinelli. But if Garrett doesn't sit there and do what he needs to do, let's say we go to the playoffs and we lose the first round again. I don't think Stephen Jones has the loyalty to Jason Garrett like Jerry Jones does.
No, he doesn't.
And I feel like
you're not going nowhere though.
And I feel like he's not going to look outside. You tell me that if Chris Richard comes in here and our defense balls out, and then Jason Garrett fails, you're going to tell me Stephen Jones are not going to look as far as looking from within because they
of course
from within.
I'm just saying
outside. They're going to go after him. He's going to be the next head coach, bro.
That's not what I'm saying though. I'm not saying that he won't get looked at. He won't get an interview. He'll get an interview. I'm saying we'll find out about Chris Richard now that he's on our staff based off of what he's able to do with our team.
Right.
If our secondary, if he could take Byron Jones and turn him into, if not a Pro Bowl player, a player that we feel should get a nod at some point and solidifies himself at corner. If he could take these guys that are undrafted corners coming in and whoever makes the team, whether it be Kiro or Robinson, or even Anthony Brown. He can take these guys and turn their careers around.
I like Kelly.
I haven't looked at Kelly.
Cam Kelly, right? Cam Kelly.
Yeah, I haven't looked at him yet, so I don't want to say. I looked at highlights only, and I
ain't going by highlights. I'm talking about
game
about
highlights.
Doing no damn.
No, I'm just talking about me.
I feel you. I know how you do. I'm just telling you. I do it too.
Because highlights make everything look good. I probably
they gonna show bad highlights.
You see me out back with my sons.
Who the hell gonna show bad highlights?
Odell Beckham in my backyard.
I go straight to games. I go straight to them games where they playing either like lightweight competition, because I want to see how they play against them competition where they feel like they can dominate. I want to see if they slack. That's one of those games I like to see.
Yes, indeed. Hey, the thing is, what I do is I type in the person's name on YouTube because it's so hard to find college tape. I type in the person's name, then I type VS versus. I try to watch that first, and then I watch the highlight last.
Right.
So I want to try so I can have a honest view of the player. Then I watch the highlight. If that makes sense to you guys.
Yeah, it makes perfect sense. You watch the game tape and then you watch the highlight, because like I said, you're always going to see the great highlights, but you need to see that game tape play in, play out, see the position that they play, what they're supposed to do, schemes, things of that nature, and you basically look at that athlete.
And that's as close as you can get, and you still really
you still don't have it.
Right, because you don't know what play he was supposed to be running. You don't know, what he was told to do.
It's deep. It's deep.
His coach, you don't know if he, exactly. So it's like a lot of different things that go into that. You don't know if he was doing it right in practice, and then he screwed it up, but somehow some fluke play helped him. You don't know.
I could never find an all 22 for college film. If anybody know where you can find that at,
man, that would
let me know, man. I would be willing to pay for it.
That would be sweet.
I would love it.
Yeah, because you just really don't see, especially you can't evaluate the DBs out there truly, because the screen, it kind of cuts off on the DB. You really can't you can just see how they tackle. You can see some aggressions there. But the wide receiver, you can see a little bit of the wide receiver, how they in and out of their breaks. There's so much what happens with the release, where they lined up. And
but then you got depth, though.
Yeah.
You don't know if they were supposed to make their break. They might make a beautiful break, but it might be
it might not be the right, but the wrong break.
Wrong spot. Might be 5 yards too early. You don't know. So we still don't know. We just know what they did on film. But we still don't know.
And that Cedric Wilson, I'm still working on his film. I'm chopping up the tape, and I'm sitting like, man, he's falling down like T. Will. Man,
he better be better than. All I know is he better be better than St. Brown. That's all.
Oh,
From Notre Dame? Oh my gosh.
Oh,
I don't think
Oh
so.
my God. You don't think so?
I don't think he is.
No, Brown is better than Cedric Wilson.
So why the hell do we have Cedric Wilson on our team?
Because Dallas Cowboys love them damn Boise State Broncos. That's why.
Hey,
That's why.
Crazy.
Man, the
Boise State Broncos. I mean, they love them. They have an infatuation for these dudes, and I don't know why. Because I was hearing from Mike Fisher that they play with this. I guess because they feel like they're snubbed because they're playing the Mountain West and they feel like they belong, so they play with this chip on their shoulder. Okay, I mean, I guess, but we'll see. But like you said, Darius, St. Brown, Cedric Wilson. There ain't no comparison. I seen the receivers. I went to the combine. I seen St. Brown up close. Producer G. I was liking DJ Chark, and I was liking Michael Gallup. Those are the two receivers I liked the whole way through. Right. But he was like, man, I like this Thomas kid, and we saw him up close. The dude was freaking huge. He got on that weight bench and was just threw up like 225 20 times like it was nothing, and he had that cocky attitude. He was just infectious, and the dude had size. And I'm sitting there thinking,
and if we would have
get him,
we would have got us a
get him.
I don't want to call the kid Randy Moss because he's not gonna have those skills, I don't think. But I'm talking about a guy with a chip on his shoulder, though. Randy Moss had a chip on his shoulder, and we passed up on him. Right. This dude slid to the 6th round.
Are you serious?
Pissed off. He's pissed off.
Dog,
he's gonna ball out for the Green Bay Packers.
He's gonna kill it, dog. He gonna kill it with Green Bay. Aaron Rodgers is gonna make him dope.
That's the best part of him sliding is the fact that he got to play with Aaron Rodgers.
Aaron Rodgers, and now think about it. So that's what I'm saying. In the aspect, I did like our draft, but then it's like when we went down the later rounds, like Chris Covington from Indiana, he's not really going to make a difference to me. I seen him.
Oh, I like him though.
He's okay.
Covington.
I watch Big Ten football. I'm out here in Ohio. I get to see all their games. I got a kid that I used to do a high school show, and I got a kid who actually plays for Indiana. His name is Morgan Ellison. He's the running back there. He's a freshman. He was on my show, and he played for Pickering. He played with Taco Charlton. I watched Indiana. He's not all that good, dog. That's just my opinion. He's just a special teams core player.
The film will show us one of us going to be right. I don't know.
Hey, don't come back on here and throw me under the bus.
No, I'm just saying, I don't know. I don't want to argue with you.
You my dog.
I can't say it.
AKOYE, you gonna have Omar coming to get him on your. Omar coming. Hey man, you put that wire clips out there, man. I'm just like, damn, man. Omar coming.
That was funny, man. I had fun with that video, man. For real, I ain't gonna lie to you.
Hey man, don't do my boy like that though. Hey, but one thing we can talk about, we're gonna go squeeze back over to my guy who made the donation to help grow the nation. You're talking about let's talk D-line, and then they brought in Terrell McClain, and
you ain't like. I'm like, man, I'm mad at you for that one.
What, McClain?
Why you don't like McClain?
Me?
No,
Law. The reason why I don't like it because you got Jonathan Hankin, a fat big body up there who got more production. Got more production.
He had more production than McClain.
Collapsed the pocket.
What did McClain do when he was with us, dog?
What McClain played? He's finesse. I'm tired of finesse. Finesse.
Oh, I know he don't have the size. Now I know he don't have the size of Hankins. I get that.
298.
I know. Okay, I'm gonna give him 300.
Listen,
give it 10.
He's not a big 300. He's an agile 300. I feel you.
I'm thinking about the linebackers. I'm thinking about LVE. I'm thinking about Jaylon Smith. You get a fat plug up there, you got that.
We ain't getting Hankins. That's why I'm living in reality. We getting McClain, so that's why I'm getting excited.
Either way, we don't need McClain either. Because the thing that I look at it is like this. We have Rob Marinelli.
Yeah.
Rob Marinelli made Benson Mayowa look like gold. Okay? So
he made what's the
Salvi.
dude? Who was exactly George Selvey? He had 7 sacks.
So I don't think that it's more I think we have a great scheme for defensive linemen, period. So I think any big body that makes this team and can stay healthy, i.e. my guy is this, man. I think he's one of the best undrafted free agents we have because I haven't been able to clown. I like the clown players. I can't clown this dude on film.
Are you talking about the kid from the D lineman?
The Clinton Osborne, man.
Clinton Osborne.
Yep.
They won't give him. Look, the player that you
How
fall
big
in
is
love with.
How big is he?
This is what the Cowboys do. The player that you fall in love with, he won't even see the field.
How big is he?
Clinton Osborne don't. If he don't see the field, he's 6 foot 310 pounds.
He got big. He look big.
And anybody who say he's small or they say he's short,
no,
he's the same size as Aaron Donald, and he got just as many moves. And I'm not exaggerating at all.
I seen that tape. After
you
showed that
on moves, and that's in every video I watch. I'm still watching this tape. Yeah, I just didn't want to put 5 hours of film out on him, but I'm still watching him, and I haven't found a chink yet because I would do a follow-up video on him if I see him getting thrown around like a rag doll. But I haven't seen it. He got
to have some chink if he's undrafted.
I think with the fact that he went to junior college first, then he was in Baylor, and I think the coach got fired there. He transferred from Baylor, went to Oklahoma, so he bounced around a lot throughout college, and I think that might have messed up his draft profile because he didn't get to play 4 years for one school. If he would have done that, I think he would have been a different ball game.
Was his grades junior college?
That's why he went to JUCO. Okay. So. And he had an attitude problem in JUCO. I think he got in trouble there.
Got that attitude adjuster.
But he switched up when he got to Oklahoma. He was defensive lineman of the year.
Right.
I think twice. He got the nod. He got nominated this year. He was defensive lineman of the year. I think 2016. But the dude is the reason. He the reason that their linebackers, he was the heart and soul of their defense. If you watch him, even the plays that he not making, their linebackers were running free because of what he was doing in the middle of the field. And he barely took a spell or a breather. He would take maybe 2-3 plays off, not a whole series. He'd take 2-3 plays off, right back in there, and you could see the difference.
One take. He can line them up over the center.
1 and 3. He played nose tackle in college.
He played zero. He played zero.
He played nose tackle in high school, I'm sorry. And then he played the 1 and the 3 in college. So he could play wherever you want. And he played 3-4 defensive end in college as well. So he could play anywhere up there, man. You put him up there, he going to make noise. I love that kid.
Well, you know what? What I love about it is I'm gonna be honest with you. I love the fact I love the fact that I don't want to all my Cowboy people please understand how I'm saying this. I love the fact that Dez is going and Witten is going. Not love it, but I'm saying the fact that now we just have this young team, and I want to see what this young team does. I want to see who becomes the leaders of this team. I want to see how this offense grows. I want to see how this defense. We got Dayton Jones. We got so many guys that are just really out there to make a name for themselves, and this is the golden opportunity to make a name for themselves because right now every spot is open, like for real, except like Ezekiel Elliott and like your offensive line. You got a lot of spots that are still open, and the competition is going to be fierce, and that's what I love. I love bringing a lot of guys in for competition.
Listen, I got one clip for you, and it's to tell you everything you need to know because he's still our coach. When Jason Garrett was cursing out the practice squad players, what did he say? We got so many good players in here. They're the best at what they do. So Jason Garrett is the type. Once you're penciled in, it seems like once you're penciled in and once you seem like you're that guy or you're a guy that's in his wheelhouse and in favor with him, I don't see it being a competition because he kisses too much ass of the players that he actually thinks is good. I don't see it being a open competition. We have competitive players that can push for positions, but I think more so on the defensive side of the ball, you'll see competition. Offensively, if he's making that decision, period, I don't see it. I think he's gonna go with the players he likes.
Well, hell, that ain't probably even him as Linehan because he got hella power up in there. So I feel like he was the reason why Switzer gone too. I feel like he's the reason why Switzer gone. Like, because for real, because I mean, just look at how they were felt Dez, and Switzer loved some Dez Bryant. Switzer loved some Dez Bryant, and they were type of the boisterous, kind of outspoken type guys. And then the 1 year later, he's gone. It just, I just kind of odd to me.
I mean, I don't want to get into the conspiracies just for the fact that
I'm just saying.
I honestly think that Switzer move was weird because we already dumb load. Like half these guys can't possibly make the team on defensive line. You got if Randy Gregory comes back,
right?
You have Tapper Gregory.
Tapper probably might get cut.
Taco. Why would you cut Tapper? That don't make sense. If he's healthy this year, you leave him alone.
What is he doing though?
What is Taco doing?
I feel you, but what is
Get Taco
Tapper
out of here then.
You really think Tapper's a starter in this league?
You really think Taco is?
I think he has a better ceiling than Tapper.
You are crazy.
Man, you're crazy.
I would take Tapper over Taco.
Tapper is more of a splash player.
How many moves does Taco have?
What moves does Tapper have?
I mean, I like Tapper. Tapper's a slasher.
Tell me a move that Tapper has.
Tapper's first step is better than half the players on our team.
He may have a good first step, but he doesn't have that length.
What is the list doing for Taco?
Lift does help.
Look at AKOYE. Look at that Raiders clip. Look at that Raiders tape of Taco.
If you look at the end of the year, people dogging Taco, and I'm not
dogging.
I'm just saying. If you look at his games, if you look at his games, he had 3 sacks. But if you look at his games, he had other would-be sacks. He had 2 would-be sacks against the Cardinals. He had a would-be sack, and like he was right there.
When they put that,
I'm just saying
on that Raiders game. They robbed him blind on the Raiders game.
Derek Carr was just getting the ball off his hand when Taco was on his back, but don't nobody see that. Everybody wants to see and jump on. Oh, well, he ain't doing this and doing that. I'm seeing that when he got more playing time and he played on the left side and not playing on the right side, and he stopped using that spin move, he got better.
That spin move.
That slow
he stopped using it when he got better.
Yeah, he did. He did.
You can't tell me he got better.
Gregory, if he come back, Tapper, Taco is on the team. Now we have Ward, and we have Collins, and we have Crawford. We have Crawford. Dorrance we just drafted. You have D-Law, that's 8. Then you have the Clinton Osborne, undrafted free agent. Who else? Deton Jones, he's still on the team?
Yeah, he's still on. Brian Price.
Richard Ash. 11. Ash, 12. Like, why would you trade?
McClain may come back in.
McClain. So why would you trade Switzer for a guy who might not make the team? And then we got Conley
Ely. We've got about Conley
Ely. But didn't you say Jahan Ward? Who would trade?
I said him. Okay. So we got like 13 defensive linemen. 13, maybe 14.
Is that a bad thing?
It is when you draft a player like Switzer and then you trade him for a defensive lineman when you already have a bunch. It is kind of weird.
Yeah, well, we'll see. I rather they kept Switzer and got rid of Beasley. That's what I was wanting to do, but hell.
Why get rid of Beasley? Because
he's in the last year of his contract and he's 29 years old. You ain't re-signing him to another deal. I bet you they don't.
Hey.
Yeah.
They're not going to sign him to another deal.
They probably don't. I won't lie about that.
So that's what I'm saying. You're telling me, so why are you keeping him another year when you could have got something for him and kept Switzer? Do you not think that?
Well, the reason I think they took Switzer, though, is, our special team coach is now the Raiders special team coach.
Right.
So I think he wanted Switzer more so than Beasley. I don't think it was, hey, let's get rid of Switzer because we don't like him so much. I think that was part of the decision-making process.
A deal for a deal, right? Favor for a favor.
Right.
Well, the Raiders seem to like our players like them damn Redskins.
Hey,
the damn Redskins, man. I don't.
Our guys go over there and don't do nothing. I just think they just take our players because they hate us because they know they ain't gonna do nothing over there. The Skandrick ain't gonna do jack poo over there.
We'll see. I like Skandrick too.
I don't like no damn Skandrick.
I like Skandrick.
I don't like
Skandrick.
Skandrick get on my damn nerves.
Oh,
old ass. Get his ass out of here. I'm glad his old ass gone. Broke ass back.
I hate to be old player for the Cowboys, man.
I ain't talking about
old players like
Skandrick ain't never did nothing. Let's keep it real.
Except for breaking his body up playing hard for us, man.
Skandrick ain't never did nothing. Let's keep it all the way.
He never been a shutdown corner. Skandrick was like our Dwight Lowry,
our hype guy
that we kept for too long. That's
he was our hype guy.
Yeah, I think it's good that Skandrick is going now. Yeah, but I think Skandrick had his run. He had his time when he was a pretty good player before the knee injury.
I like Michael Jenkins better. I wish he would have stayed healthy for us.
Michael Jenkins was pretty good, man.
He was pretty good, but he tore up that shoulder, and it was a wrap for him.
OVA. So, man,
he was all right.
Fast forward into this. Man, you guys, took the thing all the way down the line, man. We was talking about defensive line, and we went all the way on tangent, man, like 12, 13 guys. And man.
Well, he asked. He got a real answer, dude.
Hey, we go deep on the lineups, man.
Hey, what you feel about Tyree Robinson, big game?
Oh, from Oregon?
Yeah.
I
Six
like him.
four, 6'3", 6'4"
I love the size, and I think he had one of the better speeds out of the other players that they were the undrafted guys. I think he ran like a 4.5, which is not terrible. I'm just wondering, like, you know, I didn't get to see a lot of tape. I seen a couple of his games. I like the size. I like the range. I do think that he needs to be a little better as far as the hips. But you know, I don't know. I'm gonna keep it real. I like that Cameron Kelly kid. He's the favorite.
What's your breakdown on Cam, Dan?
I mean, because he can play safety and corner. And if you really look at him, you really got to look at not just his tape, but listen to him as a person. He's one of those type of guys that really, you know, when you hear that you one of those type of guys on the team, he's one of those guys that wants to get better every single game. Like I said, he's a multifaceted player. He was safety. They switched him at corner his last year, showed improved. Very sticky guy, great tackler, wrap-up tackler. That's what's big. You know, on our corners, you got to be able to tackle, and that's what's huge on him. He ran a good time, and he's about 6'2.5", about 210 pounds. So he's a good size. Ran about 4.5 as well, about 4.56. I think the reason why that he may got undrafted because they switched schemes. I think 3 straight years, so it kind of, you know, messed him up as far as, you know, getting the numbers. But I think and Chris Richard is one of the guys who went to bat for him as far as when he didn't get drafted. I think he was one of his personal guys that he wanted to get as an undrafted free agent. So being that said, if you see a Richard seeing something in him, that's kind of exciting to me because right now the safety position is open and I want to see some I mean, I like Xavier Woods. I think we should give him a chance. I think the reason why we got him because he was a playmaker. And honestly, I'm believing in Kayvon Frazier. I am. I'm gonna believe in him. I know.
So you high strong on Kayvon. Shout out to Heavy Hustler again, man.
I am. I'm writing an article.
Shout out to Heavy Hustler 209 making a donation.
Yeah, I got an article on him right now. I'm gonna finish. It's gonna come out tomorrow on Kayvon Frazier. But you know, when you looked at his combine numbers, they were ridiculous. Like I didn't really know. Like he ran a 4. He had a stress fracture in his foot, and that's the reason why he dropped in the draft. Because he couldn't participate. But when he did his pro day, his 40, he ran a 4.48. He had a 40-inch vertical, did a 10.8 broad.
Yep.
I mean, them is 6 foot, 225 pounds solid. He's a big boy. And when you watch him, he wraps up. Like he dudes don't get past him. No. And when you look at it, people say, oh, he can't cover. But you never really got to see him in an NFL cover because he's only been in splash plays. And when he actually got some good time, when you watched him in Washington, he played 21 snaps and had 6 stops.
So you sold on the strong. So the free, you still have your reservations on, basically.
I have my reservations for the free, but I feel like we got to give Xavier Woods a chance.
What if this happened? What if Anthony Brown situation happened to Xavier Woods? Then what we do?
What do you mean?
You saw what the hell happened to Anthony Brown last year.
Oh, yeah, I don't think that happened.
You don't think that happened with Xavier Woods, right? Because we was all high. I was so high on Anthony Brown.
Can you agree with me with this, AKOYE? Can you agree with this with me? You don't get 14 interceptions in your career. That's not a fluke. You didn't see that from Brown when he was at Purdue. You didn't see that. He wasn't doing that in college, but Woods did this in college. He was a playmaker in college. To me, when you're doing that in college, it transitions to the pros. If you're not doing that in college, you don't magically do that in the pros.
Everything you see when you watch the tape of Xavier Woods in college or watch any of his highlights, he played the same exact way for us. He didn't like fall off. He played everywhere. Played in the nickel. He didn't play on the outside. He played everywhere other than outside. He played box safety. He played single high safety. He played nickel. And he did serve. He did so well that you didn't see him. That's when you know on broadcast film when you're not watching all 22, you can't see the safeties if they're doing their job.
Exactly.
Most of the time, unless they're making a tackle. That's the only time you see them. If they doing their job and the ball didn't come their way, that's because they did their job. They was where they were supposed to be and they didn't get picked on. When you see a guy every play, that's because he's getting picked on. You know what I mean? That's because they throwing the ball at his ass all day long, like Anthony Brown. So I don't see that happening to X Woods because not because he's like perfect, but he's a different guy than Anthony Brown. Anthony Brown's a good man guy. He's fast and he's just good at man coverage. Xavier Woods plays with his eyes. He's a guy that plays with his eyes. You don't forget that. So I mean, how can you forget how to read a quarterback's eyes? And
I was just throwing that out there as looking at it from not from a myopic view of things. I want to look at it from a full glance of things of saying, okay, do we have our tools in place of having that security blanket just in case something happened? You know, that's all I'm saying. And I do know that all 31 other teams can say the same thing about their backups or what have you.
Right.
That's all I'm saying is, and then somebody asked about the, hold on, shout out to Sushi too as well, man. Everybody making the donation to help.
Man, you living. I'm telling you, I'm 7-11. Man, I'm 7-11. It's a good day. You shooting dice, boy. You making money today. Keep on rocking them babies.
Man, shout out to that, man. So where do we play Cheeto? And that's what he pretty much saying. He think he's gonna do big things.
I like this rotation right here, man. And that's honestly it might be the answer. And who knows? I think in certain packages you roll Cheeto up into a safety position, single high. But in our base defense, I like Cheeto at the right or left corner, and Byron at the right or left corner. It doesn't matter. And then when you bring in, we run a lot of nickel. So when you bring in that third corner, I would move Cheeto closer to the ball. I know everybody wants to put Byron in the slot, or they want to put Jordan in the slot because he's small, but Jordan plays big. I like Jordan
outside.
I like Jordan outside, and he's feisty. I think Jordan is gonna lead the pack after Kent. To be honest with you, but I don't want Byron in the slot because I like having Cheeto closer to the ball because he's a better blitzer. He's better. He's our best overall cover corner because he can play zone.
Let me ask both of you guys this though: you in the red zone.
Right.
The offense got the ball. They line up for a ride. You know, you got Cheeto. You got Jordan Lewis on the outside. They flex the tight end to him. What do you do in that situation? Do you keep Jordan Lewis on the outside? Are you talking about you on your 20 or you on your?
I mean, you saw
15?
Graham.
You saw Graham
did that to him. Graham boxed him out.
Right. So
But Graham's gonna do that to anybody. How do you stop that?
Hold on. I don't think Graham would have did that to Byron Jones though. I don't think though.
What?
I don't think that.
He won't.
I don't think Byron Jones. Are you playing press, man?
Come on, man.
I don't think he would let him do that.
Stop that because
come on. I did a whole tape on Byron Jones.
I watched plenty of tape on Byron Jones, and I love Byron Jones.
But what?
Don't sit there and tell me no big physical tight ends don't give him no problems.
You are crazy, bro. I ain't even
crazy.
You crazy.
You're crazy. You're crazy. Don't sit there and tell me that.
Hey, I saw Jordan Reed. I saw Jordan Reed eat him up, but it's more so leverage.
Don't sit there and tell me that. I watched plenty of Byron Jones tape ever since UConn, big dog.
Right, let me tell you. I'll point out the plays then. Now, how about that? All right.
Point them out.
Jordan Matthews on the goal line. Jordan Matthews.
You talking about Jordan Reed? You talking about Jordan Reed against Byron Jones, or who are you talking about?
From the Eagles.
Matthews is receiver.
From the Eagles.
Okay.
From the Eagles. He shoved Byron Jones back like 2 yards. Byron Jones still made it back through that punch and broke up that play. Cooks on the Raiders. Cooks punched Byron Jones, and Byron Jones fights through that and makes a play. Gresham was punching Byron Jones on the goal line all night. Byron Jones fighting through that, making plays. Fitzgerald, he played Fitzgerald half that night. Fitzgerald put up 150 yards almost on us. How many did he put up against Byron Jones? 4 yards. He's a big red zone target, is he not? He's a number one red zone target.
Yeah, but he still ain't no tight end.
Okay, so let's go back to tight end.
Ain't a big physical tight end. He ain't like a Kelsey.
Okay, what did Kelsey scored on him? Kelsey scored on him. I think that was it. That was the only tight end that I saw last year scoring on. I might be wrong because I'm doing off the top of the head. But Kelsey scored on him. Other than that, Byron Jones was flat out squashing tight ends. Period.
Now the year before, I saw Jordan Reed eat him up a little bit though. The year before, I'm gonna be honest,
Jordan Reed eat that's unfair to say. Jordan Reed eat everybody.
True that.
Jordan Reed got your boy D-Rob as his wide receiver coach. Jordan Reed run routes like a wide receiver. Period. So
Jordan Reed was like a basketball player. That's why he's so
nasty. Like who have you seen that just make Jordan Reed look like nothing when he's healthy? Nobody.
My thing is you kick. Now I love Jordan Lewis, but you know what I'm saying. But the thing is, my only reservations is when he's down there towards the green zone, money zone, red zone.
But he's not a great slot corner though.
He's not. I know. So what'd you do with that
He's
package,
not.
big game? What'd you do with that package? You keep him out there and say, okay.
I mean, you don't think Anthony? I think Anthony Brown in splash plays when he plays in the slot. He wasn't bad.
I wouldn't. Who is he starting over? I wouldn't. I'm saying
when I'm saying if they come down like Law was said, let's say they're coming down. Let's say they're like what 15-yard line. They go 4 wide. You're not going to put Anthony Brown in that slot against that. I think he can still do good in that. Don't put him on the outside. No, I don't want him outside. But when you put Anthony Brown in the slot, he's not playing every single play. He does play okay.
I'm not going for okay.
Well, what else the hell we got unless we see some of these other guys step up?
I like the 3 we got, man. The 3 we got.
I'm saying if they go 4 wide though.
Oh, if they go 4 right now, yeah, you got to go Anthony Brown.
That's what I'm saying. I'm not talking.
Right. I thought you were talking about 3.
Hell no. I said 4.
Yo, what's in that Heineken, bro? What
the hell are you talking about? I said 4 wide.
I hear you now. Yeah, my fault. That's on me.
But then again, like you said, this team is
like, what the?
Like, you are crazy. Who we going to bench for him?
This team is a bend but don't break type of. This team is a bend but don't break type of defense. So
right.
Who knows, man? Who knows? What do you think about Kyle Q, man?
I like y'all. I like him. I think they gave him a bad rap because he's slow. Yeah, but I don't think that he's a hell of an athlete for a dude.
What his film tape say? Not what his 40 say. What his tape say?
His tape say he's Ed Reed.
Ball hawk.
Yeah. Victor Malone Jr.
Man,
this dude he was nasty, man. I see him with the club on his hand too. Yeah, and you can't pick on him. So I would like to see him at safety, honestly. But the scary thing is, and this is one thing everybody got to keep in mind. This is Chris Richard's first year,
right?
So something Parcells used to say, he said, if you want me to cook the food, let me buy the groceries. Chris Richard haven't picked out none of these guys that we have on our team right now. So don't be surprised. Now that's where the most competition is going to be. Other than defensive line, where we have a log jam of 14 players, we bringing in all these secondary guys when we supposedly got our guys in place. We really don't. We don't have them in place. He bringing all these free agents in. And guys like Hero, these guys aren't just coming in as camp casualties. They bringing in guys that can actually play as undrafted free agents.
They're pushing for roster spots.
Right. And look at their body types.
Right. They're all
everybody
big.
Long, rangy, big.
So it's like as soon as they come in, it's not going to be, oh, well, you just a practice player. It's you better stay on your job or you might not be here.
Exactly. So somebody get hurt. Don't
get hurt.
Somebody get hurt. Somebody ain't playing right. We got them hamstring issues that linger on into the season like we had last year.
That's what I'm saying.
You might see us keep six corners and 2 safeties each, or 5 safeties, 6 corners. We might have 11 DBs on this team. You never know.
You think us gonna switch over to the cover 3 then and say hell with the cover 2?
I think that's what you don't bring Chris Richard in if you're not gonna switch to the cover 3 because that's what he know how to run. What are you gonna teach you in cover 2? He might know it, but that's not his specialty, obviously.
Hell yeah. So before we switch over to the other side, man, I want to say the tight end. You know, I think that you made a post earlier, Big Game James, about Blake. What do you think about it?
Well, I mean, honestly, when I watch, I mean, we all know who has the most potential. Well, I'm gonna say my eyes. I know the potential with Rico. You see it, blah blah blah. But I mean, I was watching training camp all last year, and Jarwin was standing out. I kept wondering because I didn't know him at first, and I kept wondering who is that dude because he had really good size. He could block, he could catch, he could do a lot of things, and I was just like, who is this kid? And then when I found out it was Blake Jarwin from Oklahoma State, then I was like, hey, he's pretty nice. Like I said, had good size. And then he had the injury, so you couldn't really see anything more about him. I like that kid Schultz that they got from Stanford. That kid, I mean, I know he only had like 55 receptions last year, but man, that dude can block for real. Like I watched like 2 of the games. He like takes it personal. Like he puts effort into it. Like he cares about blocking. So that's gonna be huge. But like I said, man, the big question mark is Rico, man. Like I'm frustrated with him because it's like we got him the first year, you know, he was all on it, you know, with the Jason Witten. I was like hyped. It looked like he was going to be able to take that next level. And then it just like he went to I'm not saying he can't have a second life, but it's just like, dang, dog, like they're giving you this at the fingertips. And now he's like 3rd on the depth chart. Like for real? Like we got you for a reason to be dynamic. Take this like serious and like do what you need to do because you can make this offense so much damn better, man.
Yeah, when you got
You
a
could do that. If you could do that 10 personnel and you got like a Jarwin and freaking Rico Gathers out there, are you freaking serious? We killing fools. Rico, get your shit together.
People in the chat box talking about Fleener or Fleener, whatever his name is.
Kobe Fleener.
Man, leave that dude alone, man.
I mean, I think if
how
you
many
go out,
didn't he have a lot of concussions?
I like the kid Schultz, man, because he can block.
Schultz is gonna be good for us.
We don't need a
Kobe Fleener.
Yeah, no, we don't need him. Rico Gathers, if he gets it together and he can play spot work, Rico Gathers his receiver ability speaks for itself. I think he can ball there. But he reminds me of Jermichael Finley with the fact that he got hit, and that hit wasn't like a world beating hit. Like think about this. Witten's been playing for 260 something games, broke jaw. Spleen. You get hit one time and you're gone.
Exactly. That's Anquan Bolden.
That's a lot different.
Got his Frazier. I'm telling you that Frazier. I want to.
No, I'm saying,
man,
Anquan Bolden got his jaw split in two pieces and came back with his jaw wired shut and played the next game. I saw the hit too because I seen it from the backside because somebody was recording it. I seen the hit and I was like, okay, it was a hit, but it wasn't a devastating hit. Not a devastating for a whole year.
He a basketball player, man.
Hey, he never. And Kayvon Frazier, my dude, told me last year he knocked the football out of him.
Yeah, he did.
He don't want to play.
He went straight to records. Now. I mean, think about it, y'all. He was all about football. Everybody was talking about Rico Gathers with football. He got smacked. He went straight to records.
He making records like that though.
He ain't sweet to me. I heard it ain't sweet, but I mean,
heard one track.
He got people. He got records on deck. That's what he said.
I refuse
stuff like that. Oh,
I refuse to listen to the bullshit.
I'm not listening to that shit.
So we all sold on that. So we not gonna worry about anybody else out there.
Nah, we good. We good.
We're gonna have to see. Like you can't really replace. Like to say you're gonna replace Witten is not about production because anybody can give you 63 receptions and 500 something yards. That's not what we're trying to replace with Witten. So to even say you're going to this, you're not. So I don't even try to say that, because it's more about the work ethic that he brought to the team, the voice that he brought to the team, and people. He took excuses away from everybody because if you could say, "Yo, this dude played 200 something games," you talking about a broken thumb, or you talking about a broken hand. You see dudes like Scandrick playing with broken hands. You see Witten playing through whatever he was dealing with every week to try to get up and deal with that. You know what I mean? So when you see dudes doing that and you try to sit there and kind of nurse your wounds, lick your wounds, you can't because you got to get up and play because you see that they doing. They setting that standard. That's what we're missing. We're not missing 500 yards and 63 receptions, 5 touchdowns.
All I can say is Schultz better show up because if not, we're gonna start printing T-shirts out.
He's gonna show up.
Schultz.
Schultz is gonna show up, man. I think Schultz is one of a slept-on pick, man. Schultz is gonna show up. Like I said, I watched a few of his games, man. The kid can really, really, really block, and he has good hands. He's a solid player, and he came from Stanford. Stanford puts out those good players, those good, smart, solid players, and I feel like he's gonna come right in the line, and he's gonna be a good player for us. I think he is.
Somebody said Cody from Stanford.
Well, he had didn't he have a lot of head concussions?
Well, we got a younger Cody Fleener.
Yeah.
Right.
I ain't never said. This is how I know I don't want Kobe Fleener. I've never said Kobe Fleener. Never said that. I never said, yo, you seen that catch, Kobe Fleener? You see what Kobe Fleener did last week?
Yeah, one good game with Drew Brees.
Never said it.
So anything else, man? Any other thoughts on your mind, man, before we wrap this thing up, man? Any other things you guys got to get out of your mind, heart, soul, sinew, and all this good stuff?
Look at you.
You already know.
That knowledge and act like he don't know that. Look at that. He know all that.
For me, nah, I just I'm just be honest. Like I say it all the time. We can get all the players we want. We can sign all the damn players we want. We can have all the damn schemes, but if Jason Garrett don't do shit, it don't matter. And that's what it's all boils down to me with this coaching thing, because I feel like we had the players last year, the year before. We had players. There ain't nobody no dominant in this NFC. I don't give a hell nobody says. So what? The Eagles, they're good, but they ain't dominant. They ain't running through the NFL. They ain't not running through the NFC.
I ain't talking about that. I'm just saying you got to pay attention to the moves that have been made around us, man.
I mean, I can pay attention to them moves, but you can't sit there and tell me that we still can't bang with every team out there.
They making the moves for us.
You feel me?
Yeah.
You can't tell me though, AKOYE, that with the moves on the outside are being made, yes, but we made moves too. But at the end of the day, when it comes down to it, it's going to be the coaching in those big games where we need to get over the damn hump. That's what it's all about. It's been like that these last 4 freaking years, and every time we get in a big game, something always falls off and we fall short, and I'm tired of that shit.
Yes, indeed. So out of this division, who had the best coach? Where we ranked at as far as coaching? Let's just talk about staff then.
I'm gonna say we're what? Did they
second?
If anybody say anything other than Peterson, they lying because you got to give it to him. He just won a Super Bowl. What I'm gonna say?
Right.
Gruden sucks.
I'm talking about the NFCs.
Yeah.
Who's the best?
Peterson is number 1. Garrett's probably 2. Who's with the Giants now?
I don't even know.
I don't even know who I don't even know their damn head coach.
Well, you know it ain't him. He at the bottom right now.
Right. Well, Gruden sucks. Gruden ain't no good, so I'm almost put Gruden at the bottom. So Garrett is 2 by default, not because he's good. Is by default.
Yeah,
that's the truth.
So let's break down the coaches in the NFC. Then all together, if you guys still have time, you guys still want to rap and talk it.
No, I'm cool.
Still talk it. I can talk all night. So
I ain't doing all that.
I got shit.
We ain't close all. We can talk all night. But you know what I'm talking about.
Came straight from work, jumped on.
Gutter. I already know. Mm-hmm. So where's Garrett ranked in the NFC? Let's talk real, man. Real talk, man. Where this guy ranked? Where you guys see him at? You already know that you guys saying that hell. This is always probably an even year for him, so he always gonna play good this year, coach good this year.
Yeah. I don't like him better than Shanahan, the young kid over in San Fran. Don't like him better than him.
Don't already?
Don't like him better than Pete Carroll. I like how creative Shanahan is, and I like what he did with Garoppolo in the last 5 games. I've been watching Garoppolo film.
You don't like him better than the Rams coach neither.
Nope.
That's 2 for sure.
Nope.
We know Peterson.
You don't like him better than no Sean Payton.
Okay.
Rivera.
4. I don't like him better than the Rivera.
5.
Who's the Tampa coach? I would maybe take him. Is it Carter? Dirk?
I don't even know who they coach.
Man, he better than
maybe
Tampa
I give him over Tampa Bay because we don't know Tampa's coach.
So we named 5 coaches ahead of him already, right?
He ain't better than your boy from Minnesota.
McCarthy. He ain't better than Zimmer.
Yeah, he ain't better than Zimmer. McCarthy.
7.
Who else is? Who's the Bears coach? We'll give him over the Bears coach because he's new. And who's the Lions coach? Is it still Caldwell?
I like Caldwell.
I like Caldwell better than him.
8, 9. Was it 9? So he's like what? Middle of the road, middle of the pack.
Yeah,
middle of the pack, bottom feeder.
And he only middle of the pack because he had so many coaching changes.
If we hit good
I can't put Arizona coach ahead of him. You know what I mean?
Hell no, because if your boy Bruce Arians was still there, I'm taking Bruce Arians.
Let me say this too. I like Garrett as maybe a quarterback coach, as maybe a
position coach,
a consultant. I don't even like him as an offensive coordinator because he's not creative. I haven't seen any creativity at all.
Maybe front office.
Yeah, he cool.
Where he can use his brain.
He's a good guy. He's not a bad guy. He's not a bad guy. He's just not a guy that when I see him in the room, and I'm not saying a coach has to scare you because you don't have to scare anybody.
Yeah, he does.
No, you don't.
A little bit.
Anybody like
Tony Dungy.
A little bit.
Tony Dungy.
I mean,
you have to demand their respect and let them know that you're on the page with them. Like the same thing with your kids. You don't necessarily have to scare your child.
I know.
You don't have to scare your child.
Well, I don't know. I don't know about that. No,
I'm saying like when you come in the house, you ain't got to scream at them and say, "Hey, F you."
But they need to be scared though.
They need to respect you. That's the difference. Right. Respect and fear are similar, but they're not the same. You know
but they need to know a butt whipping coming.
I mean, but you could do that without the fake
True story.
smoke and mirrors screaming
True
bullshit
story.
and the cussing bullshit. That was bullshit. Like,
Yeah,
and
right.
if that's
there,
really
there
in you,
was some fake cussing.
I told you
know.
that was them putting Garrett out there so people could back off of him. That was Jerry Jones.
I didn't like it when they killed him when they did that. Because honestly, if Garrett would have been true to himself and he was just a Tony Dungy type dude that just soft spoken and chill, but people respected him and liked him, and that's what they put on film, I would have respected that. I would have respected that because Lisa's real.
Listen, I'm gonna keep it real. I ain't respecting nothing after 8 years and you ain't did it.
Hey, I can't argue with that. I mean, you got your feelings on that.
Whether you cussing or talking philosophies, it don't matter. 8 years, you need to do something, and you have one playoff win. No, that's no excuse for that shit.
So 8 years of talented teams.
Talented team. So with all that being said,
we had more talent on our team last year than the Patriots.
Man, oh my God.
Oh man, but we know we had talent. But with all that being said, you know, if we look at it from this aspect,
I'm gonna leave them alone.
We got number one. We got top 3 offensive line right in the NFC, just alone top 3. One can argue and say we top number 1, right?
Right.
And you can fill me out with this. We got Ezekiel Elliott, who's pretty much top 1, top 2, top 3 running back, right?
Right.
Now, where you put Dak Prescott within the NFC alone as a quarterback? Come on, Koye. Come on, man. Spit it out, bro. Shit. I mean, I know you know it.
Well, he's not better than Russell Wilson. Let's go. Let's say. Let's go. Let's do divisions. Let's do NFC West.
You got Russell Wilson over there. I think
he's not better than Garoppolo.
I don't think so. Not right now. Garoppolo look poised. So Russell Wilson, Garoppolo over there, and then who else?
He's better than any Arizona because they don't have nobody.
Yeah, they don't really have it yet.
And who else is in there? The Rams. I'm gonna take him over Goff. I don't think Goff.
Yeah, I would give him. He has a different element to Goff. I think Goff is like he's schemed. A scheme QB. Like he does well because of the scheme that's around him and the way they use their plays. But when we played Goff, I wasn't impressed. Like he was just
Goff ain't scary. Goff ain't no
Gurley ripped us up. You know, we're similar in a way, except for that's why I would give their passing game. I would give Goff a little bit better passer, but Dak can run and he has a different element to his game than Goff. He can take it somewhere else.
I think he has more moxie than Goff. I just don't feel like Goff is that leader guy. Yeah. You feel me? I just don't feel like he's that guy that can take you over the top.
I agree with that. You know, then you go over to the North. You got Stafford. I don't think he's better than Stafford.
Nope.
I don't think he's better than Rodgers. Nope. I don't think he's better than he's better than Trubisky. Whatever the kid name is from the Bears, he's better than him. I don't think he's better than I think he's better than Kirk Cousins. I think he's better than Cousins, even though Cousins got all that money. I think he's better than
Cousins too.
I think he's better than Kirk Cousins. Then you go over
to
You go over to the South. You got Matt Ryan over there. You got Drew Brees over there. You got
is he better than Cam Newton?
No. You got Cam over there. Man, Cam put up.
Why is he better? Why is I'm just asking you. Don't drop your head. I'm just asking you a question. Because if you're going about accuracy and passing,
people keep throwing that stat up. Listen,
I'm not trying to throw the stat up, dog. I'm talking about what I'm watching, not throwing the stat up because everybody's throwing it up.
Cam has since Steve Smith left, Cam hasn't been playing with top-notch receivers. Let's just get that straight. All right, he throws the Olsen all day long. That's all he got. So
Benjamin, what Benjamin first round draft?
But you can admit though, when you watch Cam Newton, he is not.
I don't know. But go ahead.
All I'm saying is, dude put up until now this year. Yes, they had similar stats. Until though, Dak puts up 35 plus touchdowns and 15 rushing touchdowns. Like he put up about 50 touchdowns one year. It was almost the MVP that year, I think.
Right.
And he went to a Super Bowl. I'm not going to put Dak on Cam level until he does what Cam has done.
I'm not saying he's on his level, but if you look at his passing, his accuracy and his completion percentage his whole career.
Cam throw the ball downfield, though, fam. Stop it. Man,
I don't want to hear that.
Stop it. Oh, Cam throw the ball downfield.
It ain't just downfield throws, bro.
No, I'm just saying. You say his accuracy is better. Cam throw the balls everywhere. Dak accuracy is going to be better than other quarterbacks, just like Tom Brady's is, because they throw the ball 15 yards or below the majority of the time. Am I lying?
You ain't lying.
Okay.
I give you that.
So stop saying that.
So
I'm
with
just
that
saying.
being said, Jim Kelly is better thrower than Troy Aikman, right? You want to Jim Kelly was better than Troy. I'm just throwing it out there, the optics, you know.
I mean, I don't know their stats, so I won't even speak on it.
I mean, Jim Kelly was a bad man though, bro. But I take
Jim Kelly was nasty.
nasty,
Kelly
man.
He might have been better than Troy Aikman for real.
Yeah, real talk,
he got carried across that Super Bowl ring, though. I know that he was
there
on
4 straight times. I know they lost, but that ain't never being done before.
He was on 4 bad knees.
For real, you ain't gonna have a Super Bowl team get 4 straight.
Right, there's optics though, you know. But who else? Who else? So we put Dak Prescott pretty much middle of the road.
He's middle of the pack guy right now.
Middle of the pack guy.
He's
Right?
middle of the pack.
NFC. We ain't talking about AFC and all that stuff.
Right now, Dak Prescott is just a question mark. And when I say he's just a question mark, I don't diminish him when I say that. I mean, he could very well be up there in the top tier. He couldn't. He has
got to prove it this year. This is his year to prove it.
He got the talent to do all of it.
Year to prove.
So it's not like I'm saying those guys are, you know, surefire. You know, when I compare those guys, you can say who's better, who's worse, because they already are who they're going to be. Dak is not who he's going to be. He might not be as good as we think, and he might not be as bad as some people think.
We don't know. Yeah, we don't. You're right.
So going into this 2018 season, see, I craft up everything in my mind to think about this. It's just spur of the moment, what have you. What I'm saying is we got a big question mark about this wide receiving core because we don't know what is going to happen, and we have a big question mark about this tight end core too as well. So those two glaring holes that we don't know how it's going to translate to 2018 as it relates to the offense. We understand that Zeke the Freak can run the ball. We understand what our offensive line can do, and we know what Dak Prescott is.
It's on Dak, dog.
Everything is on. I'm putting everything on the shoulders of Ezekiel Elliott. If he can stay out of trouble, I think Dak is going to be serviceable enough to get us at least. Put it like this: 2015. What changed? In 2015, we had the exact same offensive line of 2016. Is that correct?
Tony Romo got hurt.
Tony Romo got hurt, right? And I remember, I think you were saying you were pulling out some stuff too as well, AKOYE, on your video about the running back Alfred Morris. He did a serviceable job. He actually ran more yards against that team, against any other team. The thing is with 2017 last year, Alfred Morris is kind of similar to what pretty much Darren McFadden did in 2015. Wasn't we ranked 3rd overall in running, and we still went out and got a Bell Cowell and Ezekiel Elliott?
Yeah.
So what I'm saying is that when Ezekiel Elliott runs the ball, he finished. Alfred Morris, he had a lot of good yards out there, but
we stopped using him though.
He stopped using him, but he still, to me, he just didn't. To me, just to me, he just didn't look like a finisher of the run. To me, I'll lean more toward Rod Smith starting, and then have Alfred Morris coming in as a spellback.
I like that too. I don't like Alfred Morris over Ross Smith. But what I'm saying is, you know what I like about Pete Carroll? After he lost beast mode, you can't name me except for probably Christian Michael, and that's because he played for us. And the good dude Pro Se who played for a second, he done probably had like 7, 8, maybe 9 running backs since beast mode retired, and that was in a year. In a year and some change, he just ran through running. Because whoever he puts back there, he run the same scheme no matter what. So if Zeke out there, we gonna run Zeke like we run Zeke. If Zeke ain't out there, we gonna run Rod Smith the way we run Zeke. He ain't gonna do what Zeke do. He not gonna break him big maybe the way Zeke break him, but you still run the ball. Why? Because that's our game.
So what I was saying is with this is that with my guy Dak Prescott, we're +5 game. Because we won pretty much in 2015. If Dak Prescott, if you interject Dak Prescott in 2015 somehow, we're +5 game, right? We'd have went 9-7 that year.
Maybe
not.
Maybe
it's
not.
Just all optics, though, man. It's just me thinking. All I'm saying is that now, if you have a full year with Ezekiel Elliott, not in the news, not trying to say that you're trying to lean on that, and now you have a different type of wide receiver core, maybe not. We don't know. We don't understand. We don't understand what they can do, right?
There's a flip side to that coin.
What's the flip side of the coin?
Here's the flip side to this coin, man. There is a blueprint on the Cowboys and what they need to do to win, beat the Cowboys, which is you load up the box and force Dak to beat you with his arm now. That is the blueprint to try to beat the Cowboys. Sit on the short routes.
Right.
Have your linebacker, your will linebacker, sit on the check down, which is Zeke.
Spy on him.
And that's it.
But now you got somebody who can take the top off. I want you to load the box. You got Tavon Austin out there. You got the reverse sweep.
Here's the thing.
But if you have corners who can single up, and you don't feel Dak is confident enough to beat you consistently deep, you take your shots.
This season's on Dak, man.
Until he start ripping you apart doing that. Like, those are things that you can't do. Like, think about this. And this is all I'm saying. You can't even think about doing that. And I'm not even going to use the extreme scenario because people will think I'm comparing Dak to like a Rodgers or a Tom Brady. You can't do that to Case Keenum.
Okay.
You can't load the box and say, I'm going to take your outside. He look at him in the playoffs, look at him all last year. That's what they were trying to do to him. You can't load the box on him and say, we're going to take away, we're going to force you to beat us with your arm, because he'll beat you.
But Thielen and Diggs, man, we didn't. But Case Keenum still had Thielen. Thielen was bad now, and don't sleep on Diggs. Diggs did his deal out there, and then they tight end could take the ball up the field. Number 82, I forgot his name, but they had some weapons in between.
What it is
so you're telling me, so Law, your thing is, last year we didn't have no weapons. Is what
last year? If you're telling me last year, if you can flip the Minnesota Vikings 82 for our 82, then I would do it straight up. And I'm just telling you the truth.
I would.
Last year, you wouldn't flip. What's the Minnesota Vikings?
Kyle Rudolph.
If you was to flip those two, interchange those two from last year alone, and if you was to give me Diggs versus a Williams, then I'll take that any day.
There's a flip side to everything we say, man. Because
what you trying to tell me? Would you take Williams over Diggs? Come on now.
If we hit.
You're not taking Williams over Diggs.
I wouldn't take Williams over Diggs, no.
And you're not taking. Well, Thielen's a baller too.
I would take.
Would you take Thielen? Hold on. Would you take Thielen over Diggs? Right?
Crazy. Hell no. Listen, Thielen would take. Thielen would take Dez over himself. He's like, hey, I'll take Dez. He can he'll pick Dez. But listen, at the end of the day, if we were hitting those guys. Like, those guys didn't just fall off the face of the planet, and that's crazy disrespectful to them as a craft.
But hold on, before people crucify me, shout out to Jason Witten. Hold on, shout out to Jason Witten. I'm not dogging Jason Witten for those who try to crucify me. That. I know. Go ahead.
He's like Rudolph is like a younger Jason Witten, but I'm just saying Jason Witten put up 500 something yards, and 63 receptions. Jason Witten is not a deep threat, neither is Rudolph, and he's a red zone threat just like Rudolph, but. If we were hitting Jason Witten when he was open, and I say I can show you him open, but if I do it, y'all just gotta promise not to call me a hater.
No. I seen that video.
I never call you a hater.
I seen the video.
I never call you a hater.
If I show you him open, like Jason Witten was good for 8-9 touchdowns last year. All right, and I won't even say I'll exclude Dez, Beasley, all of them. Our whole receiving core still can play. Now, they were built for a Romo-style offense, so maybe there's something to people saying it's a Dak-friendly offense. Maybe he wants timing routes or whatever he's saying he wants that he's not getting. That's the reason that there's aspersions being cast on our current wide receiver cast. But there was nothing wrong with this wide receiver core in 2016. People go back and listen to all of us talking. Well, I wasn't talking back then, but everybody who even ESPN, anybody. They talk about all the weapons Dak came into, right? He came into the perfect storm. He had Dez, he got Williams, he got Beasley, he got Witten.
He got Tony Romo in his ear.
Yeah, he got Romo in his ear. He got offensive line. Now, all of a sudden, all those dudes is worthless?
No, but you got to understand. But you got to also, I'm
not saying you can make an argument that Minnesota had weapons at the receiver position, but you can't argue that we didn't have weapons. You can say who's better, whatever. But you can't say we didn't have weapons.
We had weapons, but I mean, let's be honest. Like I said, we can go back and forth all day.
Yeah.
To me, year 3, Dak's got to show what he's worth this year. And everybody was getting on me on my page because I showed Dak Prescott and I back him because he's our quarterback, so I'm trying to back him and say, I want him to succeed. And everybody's like, oh, you just a Dak lover. You don't see. I'm not just going to listen to the 5 yard check down every time when you're not even watching football. I don't want to listen to people when you're not watching football and you're just piggybacking off people and you're not even watching no tape. So I want those people to shut the hell up and not talk to me. But at the end of the day, I know the reality is that Dak Prescott needs to run this team. Yes, we got Ezekiel Elliott, but this is on Dak Prescott, damn it. Because if he don't make these damn plays, we ain't doing nothing. Because just like AKOYE said, we can have Zeke. They know he's our weapon. They're loading up the box.
What did Denver do against us?
They're going to load up the box every damn game against Ezekiel Elliott and say, Dak Prescott, show me you can make this throw on 3rd and 7. And 3rd and 7, can you make this throw? We're going to put you in a position to see if you can make this throw. And if you can't make this throw, we're going to run the same damn defensive play on you every single time until you show us different. And that's what the hell is going to happen. And as much as I love Dak, that's what he's got to show, because they drafted a guy in the 5th round named Mike White. And I don't think they just drafted him just because. If you watched him in his senior year and in the Senior Bowl, he's a very capable quarterback. And if Dak doesn't do it this year and he's a 4th round draft pick and there's no extra year for him, buddy,
man,
it's going to be moving on. That's real. So this is his year. This is the most crucial year from him, because if he doesn't show it this year, I see we moving on from that.
And every time we played a winning team or a strong defense, minus the Packers who he beat his first year, and
he should have beaten him his 2nd year. Now that was
should have don't pay the
they let him down. They let him down. He balled out that game. I got to give him that.
The coaching staff let him down. Yeah, he always played good. He always played good against the Packers, and I think every game against the Packers, he's played good enough to win. I will give him that. Minus the Packers, every time we play a number 1 defense, it's a different story. Not a number 1, but a top tier defense or a good team overall. It's a different story. Our first year, he went 10 games where he only played 1 winning team, and that was Green Bay. 10 games.
We played them Vikings. They were winning.
Yeah, the Vikings were winning, and then at the time,
that was it. Oh, Pittsburgh,
Cincinnati at the time, they were talking about their defense. Number 1 against the run, and the Ravens were number 1. We beat those guys. You know, Ravens were good.
Ravens had a good defense.
Check this out. Cincy went 6-9 that year, fam.
Not at the beginning. We played in the beginning. We played at the very beginning.
Cleveland 1-15.
We ain't count Cleveland. Nobody said no damn Cleveland.
Baltimore 8-8.
We played Baltimore.
Baltimore was ranked 5 and ranked 9, respectively. They ranked 5 against the run, 9 against the pass. Pittsburgh was middle of the pack, 13 and 16, respectively. Cincinnati was 21 and 11 when it was all said and done. The Bears were ranked 27 against the pass and 7th against the run. Vikings were ranked 3rd against the run, 20th against the pass, or vice versa. I don't know if that's flip-flop because I just wrote this down. But at the end of the day, and Vikings were 8-8. Lions were 9-7. Packers went 10-6. We beat them during the season. Bears were 3-13. Cincinnati 6-9-1. Cleveland 1-15. Baltimore 8-8.
We played those teams early.
Washington 8-7-1. Philadelphia 7-9. Tampa Bay 9-7. San Francisco 2-14. All right. So and the Giants 11-5, and they swept us. All right. So at the end of the day, don't tell me that we was whooping ass against good teams that year. We were not.
But this is the conundrum.
The teams that we were playing though were competing though. Those teams that we at the time we were playing, they didn't have 0-4 records or 2-4. At the time we were not playing them. They didn't have those records. Man,
you are what your record says you are.
I don't give a hell what the hell Parcells says. He ain't no damn god of football.
Yeah, he ain't the god of football.
He ain't the damn god. What he says don't believe. Just because he says it don't mean I have to believe what he says.
You damn sure don't. That's why we here, because I don't believe what you say either. So you're right.
but look at this. We always give Tom Brady a pass. Who do he play every year? Can you imagine if the Cowboys played that? If we
played in the damn AFC East, you live great.
Playoff every year.
Shit, one of the crappiest divisions ever. How do you win like 11 straight titles? What the hell?
Yeah,
and then let's look at the Steelers. Who they play? They get to have a chance to have in the Cleveland Browns twice a year.
Man, we had the Redskins forever. They've been shitty every year.
No, don't talk about the Redskins now. They come play us
won the
hard.
division in 2015, right?
The Cleveland Browns play Pittsburgh hard.
Come on, man. Get out of here, man.
Y'all make them good.
Come on, man. Come on. Give me. I'll trade that any day. I'll trade that any day.
Cincinnati
give me the Jets. Give me the Jets twice a year. Give me the Bills twice a year.
And the Dolphins.
And the Dolphins twice a year.
That's 6.
That's 6 wins off top.
That's
real talk, man. Regardless of the situation.
But I can't. I don't count another man's money, man. I never do that. Like I can't. But, I wish we did have that division. I ain't gonna lie.
Man, Tom Brady, man, you can walk on water, man. Right. But it's all good though when Tom Brady played him. Nobody brings up that fact, and then nobody ever brings up the fact that when he played,
the reason I bring that up is because the first 2 years, like the first year, we didn't play strong opposition. People know that. They don't want to admit that, but we didn't. But I'm not trying to discredit Dak by saying that though. I'm just saying that's just the truth. He can't help who he's lining up against.
Right.
But he can't help that. I'm not saying he picked him like I'm only picking bums like he a boxer or something and he ducking people. He ain't ducking nobody. That's just what it is. Mm-hmm. Our last year, it was like a mediocre or mid-tier type season. But this upcoming year, the reason I'm excited about it is because it's the year of truth, period. For a lot of reasons, not only because of the corner that he's been painted into, but because of the opposition that we going up against. Like we going up against good teams this year. You got Jacksonville on this record. I mean, on this schedule. You got the Texans on the schedule. You have the Panthers game 1. You know what I mean? Then we got our division who all play us hard anyway. So the division is already 6 games.
You go.
The division is 6 games. That's tough anyway. And then you got the Panthers. That's 7. You got the Saints. That's 8. Then you got we have to play Jacksonville. We have to play the Texans. We have to play the Colts, and we don't know what Andrew Luck gonna look like this year. So we could very well have 10 to 12 games that just straight up rough games. You know what I mean? So at the end of the day, like this year, whatever we are, if we come out a winning team, I don't care is 10-6, 11-5. I don't even care if it's 9-7 again. If we 9-7 this year, I know we a good team.
Yeah, before we run, man, I'm gonna give a shout out to everybody, man. But this is the thing before we run though. Since the free agency interject and the salary cap interject into the league, I really think that the Dallas Cowboys, if somebody just need to write a letter to the NFL, and I know a lot of people not gonna like this, but we need to get the hell out of the NFC East. We need to swap out the team. We need to have the Carolina Panthers to be in the NFC East. Real talk. And we need to be in the NFC South because we the only team from the West that go all the way to the East to play all these games. I know it's not favorable. Everybody love the rivalry connotation. But just to be real talk with everything, it's the NFL is not crafted like it used to be because we got the silly salary cap and we got the free agency that players don't stick around for the teams. Like, you know how it goes. Right. So what I'm saying is, this is just me thinking. I just know it's going to throw a lot of people for the win.
I thought you were just saying it, but
it makes a lot of sense to just take the NFC. Is for us to just swap out with the Carolina Panthers and put us in NFC South, and that way we'll play the Atlanta twice a year, Saints twice a year, Tampa Bay Buccaneers twice a year, and then we'll just have a different type of complexion. I know a lot of people don't like change, but it'll make more sense to me in this new era that we playing in. But I know money is a major thing, and you got to play the Funky Giants and play the Funky Redskins.
Honestly, I get so hyped. I live in Philly. So I get so hyped because of those rivalries. I wouldn't want to see it just because I get excited to see, the Cowboys play Philly. I get excited to see them play Washington and New York. And I'm in the tri-state area, so I'm around all those teams. So I get excited because all those fans are here, and I'm a shit talker. So for me, it would be like I would be kind of stranded up here if they just left the NFC East. So I don't want them to leave.
Take the damn name off then, because ain't nothing dealing with the East. In the West over here in Cowboys land. Right. It's NFC. It should be another name, just NFC then. I don't know. It's just my thought. It's my opinion. But big game, man. Tell them where they can find you at, fam.
Hey, yeah, like I said, check us out, Silver and Blue Nation. Big Game James, you can check us out on Facebook. We also got YouTube, Instagram, Twitter. Check us out every Sunday, 3:30 to 5 Eastern time. You know what we're doing, talking Cowboys football all day, all night. Call into the show. We'll have our number up there. You know, we just try and talk on the hottest topics, and you can join in talking live, just like you're doing now. We interject with everybody, give you shout outs. You know how we do. So we just try to have fun talking Cowboys football, and make sure you just check out the page, Big Game James, Silver and Blue Nation, whenever you can.
Yes, and shout out to producer G2 as well.
Yes, sir. Producer G's the man.
And DDP. So with that being said, I'm talking about the baddest. I'm talking about the guy that put the stuff out there. Hey, Voch Lombardi calling him as the myth buster. He's busting up all type of film out here. Man, he got everybody. He got me on my edge of my seat because every time I'm just seeing his film come out, I'm ready to just watch his film breakdown. I like it. I love it. It's a different angle, man.
They already hate me bad enough, man.
Yeah.
You gotta have a villain. You gotta have a villain up in this piece. Go ahead and take that. Go ahead and take that, man.
He gonna take that role.
Go ahead and take that role. Somebody gotta be the bad guy. Somebody gotta be the bad guy.
What that make you?
Hey, I'm talking about he gonna put the good, the bad, the ugly out there too as well. But hey, now I don't think he's a contrarian all the way, but shit, I'm leaning more towards the side of saying that, man, this boy's kind of a little contrarian, little him, you know.
Bad guy.
I'm saying like, man, my boy Dak Prescott, I don't have no hope, no feelings for him, but you know, at the same time, at the end of the day, man, hey, he calls what he sees, you know.
That's
and although, like I said, those convinced against their will is of the same opinion still. Now, he also have put out there, if you can keep your head when all about you are losing theirs and blaming it on you. If you can trust yourself when all men doubt you, but make allowance for their doubting too. If you can wait and not be tired by waiting, or lied about, don't deal in lies, or hate it and yet give way to hating, and yet don't look too good nor talk too wise. If you can think and not make thought your aim, if you can meet with triumph and disaster and treat those two impostors just the same. If you can bear to hear the truth you've spoken, twisted by knaves to make a trap for fools, or watch the things you gave your whole life for, broken and stooped and build back up again with AKOYE films. If you can make one heap of all your winnings and risk it on one turn of pitch and toss, to lose and start again at your beginnings and never breathe one word of your loss. If you can walk with kings and presidents, nor lose the calming touch, if neither foe or loving friends can harm you. If you can fill the unforgiving minute with 60 seconds worth of distance run, then you, my friend, have unlocked the true meaning of what it takes to be a quarterback of America's team. My God, AKOYE, tell them where they can find you at, brother.
You can find me on my YouTube page, man, AKOYE Media. You can follow me on IG at @IAM_AKOYE, or you can follow me on Twitter at AKOYE Media as well. I'm real responsive. I like the debate. So if I get passionate, or if I get anything more than passionate on my comments, it's probably because I'm sipping a yak, some Grand Marnier. But most of the time, I'm just debating, man. So I don't take too much personal. I'll just debate you. Even if you say something crazy, I'll debate you anyway. I don't care. But at the end of the day, man, just do understand. I keep saying it because it's true. I don't hate any of the Cowboys players, not yet anyway. You know what I'm saying? But I don't hate Dak. I just think that his potential is being smothered by ineptitude above and below, you know, and that's real. And for me saying it, you know, I'm saying it so that you can say it. I'm saying it so people can get angry. I want you to get mad. Get mad at me so that you can go look to prove me wrong. And if I'm wrong, guess what? I'm going to be happy. If I'm wrong, or if I happen to be right, you're going to be pissed off like me. And then you're going to call for their heads too. So either way, I win. So I don't mind. You know what I mean? Rip me up. It's cool.
Yes, indeed. That's what I'm talking about. Real deal, Holyfield. That's exactly what I'm talking about, guys. Hey, when we talk bad about a player, we want them to improve. But at the same time, when we talk bad about a player, we want them to prove us wrong at the end of the day. Exactly. Especially, I promise you, I want LVE to prove me wrong. You know what I mean?
This is like a job like anything else, man. It's just like it's an entertainment for us, but it's still a job. They still are getting paid. So you're getting evaluated just like we get evaluated at work.
Right.
If you don't perform at work, we're getting demoted or we're getting fired. And that's the way it is. And that's the way you should be looking at these players too. You can love them, but if you ain't producing, you got to go. This is what can we do now? And if you ain't producing, you got to go, and we got to get players that can produce and get us where we need to get, because ain't nobody got time for that.
It's not even just that, though. You got to think about it. It's about what's on your shirt right now, man. The star at the end of the day.
And nobody bigger than that.
Better not be. Like, it's at the end of the day. If you're a fan and you have any player that is above reproach, I'm showing you how dangerous that is. There's no player that's above criticism. If I'm allowed to, like, if you allow Shannon and Skip to kill, eviscerate Dez, come at Witten and our receiving core like they trash as hell. He said he has nobody to throw it to. Nobody. Right? Nobody came out from the staff or Dak, or nobody come out recanting no statements saying, like, I don't know what they talking about. Nobody refuted none of that. They just let that stick. And then the Cowboys Nation is saying it in all of my comments. That's what y'all repeat, the same things that they saying. So at the end of the day, it's like, if you allow that, but then when somebody says, okay, so if this is good, it's okay for you to come at players, right, on your team, then why when we come at this man over here, it's blasphemy. That's asinine. If I make a film about Jaylon Smith, who had a horrific knee injury, and I say he has, he's not able to plant his foot, that's just a fact, right? When I say that, people not saying I'm hating on him, they say, oh yeah, that's right. It's okay for us to say, I like it's a feel-good story, but Jaylon, we need more out of him. It's okay for people to say that. It's okay for me to come at Anthony Brown. It's okay for anybody to criticize the rest of the entire team. Yes, Byron Jones. When I say Byron Jones, the title of the Byron Jones video is horrible. My video anyway is horrible safety, genius quarter. I call him the worst safety in the league in the beginning of the video. So it's not like I switch my pitch up or like I'm just coming at Dak and Dak only. I come at everybody I treat everybody the same, no matter who they are, no matter what their pay grade is. I treat them all the same. And that's what you should want from anybody assessing the film or assessing your team. You shouldn't want me to say, hey, Dak's my guy, I love Dak, and then just say nothing but good things about one player. I can understand why other people can do that because you're not breaking down film. But if I'm breaking down film, you want me to be objective, right? So I'm going to stay.
That's the whole point of breaking.
Right. That's the whole point of
why you do it. Is not to be like the masses, is to be subjective and basically tell things that people don't want to hear. That's why you do the breakdowns.
Right.
And then the truths.
But people don't understand it. Like you can't
worry. But you know, like I know, AKOYE, the ones that really don't know are the ones that like, oh, blah 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 blah. But the ones who really know the game are really going to look at film and really understand what's going on. They're going to really appreciate what you do.
Oh yeah,
but
exactly.
the other ones, they want to hear that baby boy.
Yeah,
I lie to you because I care about your feelings.
Well, they just want to see. They want to see the glitz and the glory. They want to see. They don't want to never see nothing bad. Just like with Cowboys, just like with our page. On our Silver and Blue Nation, and Big Game James, we say a lot of things that people don't like on our page, and because it's Cowboys, and we'll lose likes or we'll lose followers, but we don't care because we're going to tell you what we really feel about the Cowboys. It ain't going to just be peaches and cream every single day. That player sucked today, and we're going to say it. And guess what? If you don't like what we just said, that he sucked, then don't follow the page anymore.
100. That's how it goes, man.
You're 1,000% right, man. Especially those, I'm leaving your page. Because
I jump on. Hey, I'm going to keep it real, dog. When I hear them on the page and they say that, I get right at them, and I'm like, why are you still here? You're still commenting. You said you were leaving, but 7 comments later, you're still talking on here.
Yeah. That's always the funnier person. I'm leaving. I'm
ready for you to go. Because we're like those Verizon guys. One guy deactivated, 10 more signed up.
There you go. But that's all the time we have for today, guys. I'm already, when I start dropping my voice like this, you guys already know.
You already know that's the cue.
And remember,
you guys are listening to Nothing But the Best. Salute. We're out. Peace.